BackChat. Here we go. Very, very lucky to be joined off the top, Dan, by another media mogul. It was bouncing around a little bit in media land.
Charlie
is... look, we're hearing big things about what Charlie's been doing down in Albany.
His escapades.
He's now back in Perth. He's a bit of a ladies' man. For those YouTubers that are watching, can see who I'm talking about. For podcasters, Dan Const, myself, Will Schofield, joined by Xavier Ellis. Hey, mate.
Charlie. Tell me about your love life.
Yeah. Look, Charlie went away. We lost him for about 6 to 8 weeks. He went down to Albany, and we feel like he might have been maybe filming.
He's a good-looking man.
Yeah, farmer wants a wife type setup. That sort of.
Didn't get a mouthful in there, really?
Oh, yeah, no, definitely. I think watch Channel 7.
I think he's gone through all of Perth on Tinder, so he's just had to get up into the region.
Extend the range.
Very good.
Well,
now,
don't forget Bumble as well. You know.
Okay, so now we're not even joking now, Charlie.
Righto, Charlie, you're out. You're done.
Man, Charlie, bad man. How are you? BackChat, good to see you. BackChat, _, Instagram, Twitter. We're on Reddit. What are we doing in Reddit?
Just copping it from people. r/BackChat podcast.
Yeah,
Where do you cop it?
We got an email address, hello@backchatpodcast.com.au.
How do you take feedback like that?
Oh, look, I don't go on Reddit. I do not go on Reddit.
I love it.
So what's the gist of the feedback?
Do you know what Reddit is?
I don't go on it, but I know what it is.
People like, they'll make memes. We welcome it all. They make memes, comment on behaviours. I don't know.
You know what the vibe is over there? It's very strange. The first time I engaged on it, it's complete sarcasm. Well, is it sarcasm?
A lot of sarcasm.
It's not sarcasm.
A lot of taking the piss.
It's like, be serious. Be very serious. There's no sarcasm.
It's a lot of trolling.
Yeah, a lot of trolling.
So Will pours his heart out to this guy. He's saying something. Will pours out 25 paragraphs about the work, and then the guy's like, "Yeah, man, I love the show. I'm just messing."
Oh, right. He's back.
They give it to you.
He's part of the game.
Yeah. Look, Dave, this is very big moment for the podcast.
Right.
First sponsor, Whippersnapper, and you've nicely brought along your beer.
Yeah.
It's not disrespectful.
No, I did, sorry, and I do apologise when we started. I thought there might be a couple of stubbies floating around, but no need.
No, a bit of both.
We've got a bit of Whippersnapper.
Yeah, we can do both. So Whippersnapper Distillery, they're in East Perth. They're around the corner from your work, aren't they?
I go there every single day, Monday to Friday, because I do coffee there too. Occasionally I'll have a dabble with a bit of whiskey.
But you actually go there every day?
Yeah, literally.
Oh, right.
Every single day.
I thought you were just selling something.
No.
I was going to jump in and go, I'm there every day too.
No, it's about 75 metres away from my office, so go there for coffee every day.
So Whippersnapper on board, exclusive whiskey supply. Yeah, no, very good. So we're going to be enjoying that throughout the show. If you can beat Josh Garlop, if we can beat Josh Garlop, you're doing well, I'll say.
No, I'm very wary of Whippersnapper because it's so easy to drink and it's so nice that I understand the risks of what might happen to me because of how easy it is to drink and the taste is just impeccable.
This is coming from one of the most experienced men in media. It's almost like you. Thanks very much, mate. All the best.
What's the next read?
So we're dabbling a bit. We've got some new things coming on. So you're a big part of this, Dave. So we've got Whippersnapper on as a new sponsor. We're delving into fantasy land. So
yes.
I know that you're on another pod. You got a few things going on in media land, but AFLWfantasy.com.au.
Yeah, I am.
You're the big man over there.
Mate, I'm not a landlord of it, but they've got a small little slice of the pie. And
$5,000 award for the winner.
So how's this?
There's a bit on the line.
This is dead. This is as true as anything. The AFL obviously run the AFLW. The only thing they do in terms of fan prizes is the AFLW tipping. So they don't do fantasy for the girls.
Why do you think that is? Why do they not do that?
The prize is $2,500. They do run one competition and it's tipping and it's $2,500. So AFLWfantasy.com.au, run by Selby is double.
The best in the land at fantasy is paying more than the league.
Double, and then and I know just through the back channels there's going to be some more like prizes. Some more people have jumped on, and there's going to be prizes. So we don't get anything out of it.
No,
so it's cash out of his own pocket. There's no sign up.
I'm certainly not getting anything out of it. I'm just plugging the absolute shit out of it because I think it's.
But we don't get anything out of it either. So don't keep plugging it. But it's not like it's getting kicked back from me.
Well, okay. So you are in fantasy land. Like I mean, you know Selby Lestier. He's won the.
Maria's Magic. Yeah.
He's won the competition twice. You haven't quite gone that far, have you?
Nah, I picked the favourites more than the.
You get a bit too invested with your heart.
Yeah. So like Zach Jones, for example. I love Zach Jones for some reason. I don't know. Like, he's a dog. I don't know. He's a dog. I'm like, Zach Jones is a dog.
But he's just not that good at fantasy.
Well, he's okay, but like Selby's always like, oh mate, I reckon you go this player.
The numbers don't stack up with
get
Zach Jones.
$200,000 profit, flick him, then you upgrade to Tom Mitchell but then I'm with Zach Jones for 22 rounds and we're going at it.
Did you pick yourself?
Nah, so I did fantasy. This is true. I did fantasy when I was young. And then one game against North Melbourne, I kicked the footy and then Andrew Swallow dived over my foot and dislocated my foot. And we're in hospital getting the foot fixed. And the doctor was like, I'm going to have to trade you out of my team. I was like, mate, my foot's fucked. He's no good.
You can swear.
Yeah, that was it. I packed up after that. I was like, mate, the doc, my toes are like doing that, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna waste a fake trade on anyway. But I love it now. I'm back involved now.
You are back involved. I don't know if you know, but I came second in the country in a round last year in fantasy. Yeah, I was pretty happy with it. I hang my hat on it.
It's interesting. I was at one stage 8th overall.
Yeah,
like week 2.
Were you absolutely giving it to Moira?
No. I posted everything. Well, it was sort of, I just copied everything he did to start, and then I benched all the good ones that he wanted. But I was 8th at one stage, and then I finished like 15,000th or something.
So we're doing the AFLW fantasy at the moment, the girls' comps right now, but coming towards the men, which we're not that far away. I was down at West Coast training today, watched them train.
Looking good?
Yeah.
How are they looking?
Yeah, looking pretty good.
I heard Tim Kelly's fit.
He and Elliot Yeo were in their runners, so they can't be that fit.
I've heard Tim Kelly's going
well. Put the Ferrari back in the garage.
Yeah, I heard Tim Kelly's going well.
Saw Willie Rioli, he's looking fit.
Is he?
Yeah, Liam Ryan ran a couple of laps. He's never been a good lap runner, Liam Ryan. He's one of the hardest runners to play footy when he's running for the ball.
Yeah.
But running laps, one of the worst, and he demonstrated that.
Was he suspended during the year? No, he did that syndesmosis.
Yes.
And Simo was on air saying, oh, look, rehab's hard for Liam. Put a footy in front of him and he'll do it. But sometimes we just miss a few hurdles when it's like swim 2K. It's
just get
Liam
him
Ryan
out
ain't swimming 2K.
We just need to get him out
Just get his foot right and he'll run.
So with the fantasy in the men's division, some little exciting news. We've got our own fantasy league here at BackChat launched.
Beautiful.
Yep. Right, so BackChat, we'd love to have you.
Yeah, I'm on. Derek Henry's in.
Okay. No, AFL fantasy. Derek Henry.
That's my team name.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, Derek Henry. He's been with me through NFL in another league I'm in, all the way through my journey.
Tennessee Titan running back, Derek Henry.
Sure.
And a monster. But anyway, so...
Okay, AFL men's. So we have the AFL fantasy over on the AFL website. A couple of little things to announce here. So do I start with the prize?
Yeah. First thing, so I will be joining as well. But I haven't played for about 12 years.
That's all right.
But I have played F1 fantasy.
F1 fantasy?
Yeah.
How good's the F1? I'm sorry, I preferred it straight away.
And I think at one point I was about 3,000th in the world.
Oh, there you go.
Yep. That's probably better than even second in Australia.
But that's as far as my fantasy career has gone.
Charlie, you in?
I've never been much on the fantasy.
Charlie, you're in.
Yeah, no, I'm in for this one. Yeah.
All right,
you can auto-fill a team, right?
Auto-fill a team, you're going to lose. But that's not what we're about here at BackChat. So you want to join in. That's what we want. Couple of little things. Do you want me to announce the prize? It's a big prize. Xavier, you're actually going to be impressed.
I still don't know if we should give away this big a prize.
It's not $5,000.
Announce it. I'm going to announce it for sure.
Okay.
All right.
2 tickets to the... Whippersnapper doesn't even break. That's how good it is. The glass.
That's what I was just testing.
2 tickets to the grand final.
No way.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
How'd you get them? We just assume you've got your final.
Yeah, we'll have it.
I love it. 2 tickets to the grand final. I'm in.
Yeah. So 2 tickets to the grand final. There's one sign-up requirement.
Okay, what is it?
You've got to be a Patreon member of BackChat. Right? Yeah. So you've got to sign up to Patron.
Okay.
Patreon. So you've got to be a patron. So we've got about 100 patrons right now of BackChat. So they're supporters of the podcast.
So you're 1 in 100 chance at the moment to get...
not even every single patron member is going to...
That may be worst case.
For instance, my mum, she's a patron.
Right.
She's probably not going to play fantasy.
She ain't signing in. Yeah.
If I tell you what, if Diane joins up fantasy, she'd be a big chance to win. She's an avid supporter of BackChat.
True.
Avid.
And we will be giving good fantasy advice all season long.
So, yeah, we've got prizes. Major prize, first prize, 2 tickets to the grand final.
Great. No, well done.
We're going to have a couple of backup prices. Haven't quite got them. Maybe you could access a couple of things in the drawer over at Triple M, maybe? Is that where those?
Bottle top opener. I walk around, it's good, isn't it?
That's quite good.
Yeah, I walk around with my back pocket.
It's a coaster as well as a
Pops your beers.
popper.
Yeah, good.
So you got to be on Patreon to get the league code.
Yep.
Right. So you got to sign up to Patreon. You can find that over at
that's
backchatpodcast.com.au. So
easy.
Yeah, just literal. If you go to the website, backchatpodcast.com.au, it pops up on your screen.
Sign up
right there.
Okay.
That's how you join.
I'm in.
Okay, perfect.
We'll find out if you've had a sneaky insider give you the code from Patreon. We'll know. Don't try it.
That's what Diane's going to be involved with. Your mum will be on. She'll be on.
She'll police it.
She'll be on Sneaky Watch.
Okay.
She'll be on Sneaky Watch. So fantasy going to be a big part of BackChat this year.
Look forward to it. I'm in.
You happy with it?
Absolutely. Jed Anderson's my boy this year.
All right.
Actually, he's not had the jab, so maybe he's not.
Yeah, he hasn't had the.
He's had one.
He's had one.
On the news, yeah.
So I thought he was hesitant.
On the second.
How can he be hesitant? Well, what's that, mate? You have one. You just might as well just get a second.
Well, I don't think he was thrilled with the result from the first one, is what the news was saying.
So what's happening? You
I've had three.
You got any insight? No, not asking you. Any insight of what's happening at West Coast at the moment in that regard?
It's a great question, mate. I will say that I actually really respect Liam Jones. I disagree with Liam Jones. I did, but for him to say $1 million, 500 this year, he would have signed on again. He's a good player.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it. I'm out.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it, but for him to pack up and put, I wouldn't do it. Now you can jab me with anything for $1 million.
A couple of diseases.
Mate, anything. Just have a go and just put it in bank details, BSB, 923100, ING. But you know what I mean? Like, for him to actually say, and again, I'll say I don't agree with it, but for him to walk away, I somewhat tip my hat.
All right, so what we do on BackChat, so fantasy. If you want to sign up to that, backchatpodcast.com.au, sign up to Patreon, and then you'll get the league code, and that's how you join. We do a little bit of a bounce around sport here on BackChat, Zave. A little bit going on in AFL land. It's about time. Like, we're in mid-January.
Yep.
It's not about time. I mean, cricket's just finished. The Ashes have just finished.
So we're meant to be playing. Well, the Scorchers are on as we speak.
We're meant to be in day 4 of the test. Couldn't quite get through 3 days.
England.
How bad are they?
I backed them 5 tests in a row.
What?
So for listeners and viewers, Xavier Ellis, for as long as I've known him, is a staunch un-Australian bettor. You refuse to support Australian teams on the punt.
No, yes, but more to do with value, and I've been shot in the arse here. But
I've never heard.
No, but every single team that comes to Australia is always paying like $6 to win a test.
Right.
So the numbers say out of 5 tests, if I can win 1.
But what ends up happening is you go and have a beer with Zave, which is coincidentally a podcast of Xavier's.
Yep.
He ends up cheering for the Pom. He'd be cheering for the Poms.
Funnily, this is a true story. When I was at Hawthorn, England came over. Shit, it might have been just picking a year 2012-ish. And as you know, Boxing Day, we all go to the cricket, all that sort of hooah. But anyway, the Aussies were pretty cock-a-hoot with themselves, and I, at Hawthorn, put my hand up and saw it in the ground and said, I'm going for the Poms. Poms will win. Anyway, England started really well, and Alastair Cooks was my man. Like, I just loved how tough Alastair Cooks was, how dour he was. I love Test cricket. Like, I could sit there for 90 overs every day and then turn up on the 6th day hoping they come back. Anyway, so everyone knew how much I loved Alastair Cooks, had him for the most runs in the series, and I was just rooting Alastair Cooks. Rooting for Alastair Cooks.
Yes.
And anyway, as Christmas has come around and footy season, footy training wrapped up on like the 23rd or 22nd of December. It might have been 23rd.
Very late back
And
then.
late. Like they get every inch out of you. Anyway, so Hodgie and Brownie put on drinks at a place along the Crown Strip in Melbourne.
Yep.
So
Down the Yarra.
Yeah, along the Yarra. And it was turn up and have a drink, and it was all on Hodgie. And anyway, I'm tucking into a couple of beers, and Alastair Cooks rolls in with his partner at the time. And I was like, oh my God, that's Alastair Cooks.
But they've come into the venue we're in.
Yep. I was like, shit, that's Alastair Cooks. What are we? And I played it cool, and Hodgie goes, oh, mate, go grab 4 beers. And I was like, well, he's paying for it, so, man, I'll grab whatever you need. Like, I'll renovate the house as well. Like, anyway, so I went and grabbed these beers, came back, and Hodgie had gone, ex-loves, Alastair Cooks. I'm just going to throw caution to the wind. Wouldn't say it openly, but guys, look, I'm Luke Hodge. I've got a chance that maybe I can get a chat or, like, introduce. And I've come back, and I was like, here's your beer, Hodgie. And he's like, Alistair would like one. And remember Bryce McGain used to bowl leggies?
Oh, no.
Bryce McGain was there. Anyway, so beer. and Alastair Cook's partner was there. And the night went on and we the group sort of joined.
Oh, so you got through the introduction.
A lot of shit talking and got some photos. I remember calling Ruffy over for a photo. And Ruffy's like, oh, shit, yeah. I handed him my camera. He thought he was in the photo. He hated it. He still hates it. Anyway, that all happened. And I spent a lot of the time talking to Alistair's partner, now wife. And night went on. I went home. Anyway, Hodgie rang me at 8 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, oh, shit, the captain calling at 8 a.m. What have I done? Like, that's pretty bad. He answered. He goes, mate, what are you doing? We need to get to Chapel Street. And I was like, oh, what's happened? He goes, oh, Alistair rang me this morning and regretfully didn't mention that he had some stuff for me. So we went into Chapel Street, went to the team hotel. Yeah. So went into the team hotel, got like his test shirt, he made runs in, some test gear.
To use Xavier Ellis.
Yeah, so I'm in there with the Hodgies with me at the on the corner of Chapel Street. There's a good hotel there somewhere. And Kevin Peterson sort of brushed Hodgie, and I was like, motherfucker, no one brushes Hodgie. But yeah, Alastair Cook gave me all his gear and everything.
What year was this?
It must have been 2012-ish. I was still at Hawthorn. So
don't let anyone ever tell you you're not a big dog if you're getting there. Was he captain then?
Yeah, mate. Jonathan Trott was peeling off runs. Cook was just. So we went to the test match. Sorry, what
did you possibly say to him or his partner to get his attire?
Nah, just nice, mate. And then it was the test match that the Aussies were skittled on day one for like 90. And then England were 1 for 200 that same night. And I was like, this is Christmas. I love Christmas.
Alastair Cook.
Yeah.
Have you got it?
Alastair Cook, I should say. Yeah, it's at home. All his kids are at home.
We're hanging up.
You can put it in
hang
here.
up in the back
The
chat.
only thing is my parents live in like a remote Aboriginal community at the moment.
Okay.
And the house is empty, and that's 5 hours from Melbourne. So
yes,
unless you know anyone, that
Lake's entrance,
Lake Tyers Beach, but yeah, next time, yeah,
quick drive down there.
It's a good, it's lovely spot.
We'll just get on the phone to Marky Mark and open the borders up, and we'll head down there.
Mate.
Don't get into it. Don't get into it. No.
So the tip might be then if you meet an athlete, if you can sweet talk their partner, and then later on in the evening she goes, "That Xavier chap,
yeah, he's lovely guy."
Is that how you think it happened?
No, I honestly think that to start with, they pushed how much I loved Cook, and he was my favourite sports person in the world. Like basketball, NFL, I love Cook.
It's like me with Peter Bowl.
Yeah, like Peter Bowl. Anyway, and I think he knew that, and then he saw maybe for an hour or whatever, I was not trying to get up on him. I was just chewing the fat with his now wife, and yeah, in his mind, like. He must have gone off. So I'd gone and then got Hodgie's number, and the next morning rolled around his hotel.
Legend.
That's very good.
Sir Alistair.
I don't know where to go.
Long story.
It was just.
We just started to talk about footy because it's back. Cricket's just finished.
Oh, that's right. England was shit, and I've been back in England every day.
That's right, and we got a new rule to talk about. Well, not a new rule.
Apparently, they're going to be. Xavier like this. Apparently, they're going to be more stringent, more strict on the holding the ball.
Hate it.
Why?
Well, we used to practice like Clarko, take the tackle on. Not me, but Sam Mitchell or Hodge or Lewis, someone who was really strong in their core. In current day, Petrarca, Dangerfield.
Put Oliver in there, go on.
Dusty Martin, Clary
Bont
Oliver.
and Pally.
Bont.
Yeah.
Mate, they love the tackle.
Yeah.
Like the part of footy is come at me, I'll swing you because it says no longer there's the 360. Like,
so this
they embrace the strength
this new
rule
rule
and then fire.
Sounds like you get the ball, you take anyone on, and you don't even get to fight the tackle. It's get it.
You got to break it.
But also
or
the Stars love it because if I'm hanging on to you, Scully, and just hanging on for dear life, then another teammate goes, well, shit, I've got to help. So and all of a sudden it's a 2v1 and there's overlap. Great. Like the Stars want to be tackled a lot of the time.
You've triggered a memory of mine. I didn't write this in any notes, but just you speaking about tackling. You once very early in my teammating of you at West Coast, you labelled yourself as the greatest corella.
Greatest corella ever to play the game. Ever to play the game.
Corella.
You run along the side, just flapping your arms because you know you can't tackle them. You know you're not good enough.
I mean, you were the fastest bloke going around. You might have been early in your career.
Early days I was all right. Yeah, but you run like, and they take 4 bounces along the wing, but you're not coming inside on me. me. There's no way you're hitting an inside kick, but they just keep running with it, and you
You're
flap your arms.
like a farm dog.
Yeah, I just hem you in along the boundary line. The best corella that's ever played the game.
In fairness, I haven't seen many corral better than Xavier.
I never got stepped, but I never laid a tackle. I just ran along doing that the whole way.
What about names on the back of Guernseys? That's been floated as well. So holding the ball, put that in the bin. What about Alice written across your back? What about that one?
Well, can the crowd see it in the stands?
Don't know. Can you see it at cricket?
No.
The argument's been put that every other sport in the land, and again, these American sports, NFL, NBA, but cricket now have it.
I watch every game of footy on the weekends, and I've not once on TV gone, I don't know who that is.
Does everyone do that, though? I'm similar. I watch most games.
When they zoom in, I don't...
Do you think maybe it's just a way to sell more merch?
Yeah, probably. That's probably it. It's literally...
Because the number sometimes isn't
You'd
enough.
be a better person, like you don't watch every game of footy on the weekend, but you watch enough to know about footy. Would that help you?
No,
having
it's too fast.
Charlie?
It's too fast.
I'm in favour of it.
Charlie.
Mate, you're in favour of Albany and Buddy Palmer for life.
No, well, I feel like sometimes I don't know every number. To every
you go for
player.
free.
But who looks at numbers? I don't know if I don't look at numbers. Surely you look at the person's face and go...
I don't know all the faces either.
So what are you looking at?
Well, I'll look at numbers most of the time.
Right.
So I feel like that would help me, but it'll remind me of the name.
Zaid makes a very good point that the names are... You're not going to... they're not white numbers. They're letters.
Yeah,
Tiny letters.
smaller.
You can't see anything.
Yeah. No, I'm still in favour of it.
It's like the Wacker today. The Wacker's introduced get your name on a picket around the Wacker.
Oh, God.
And I was like, it's $1,000 to $10,000 or something, and you can do it. And I was like, this is great. And then the point was made that if it's on the fence, who gets to see it? You can't read it. You can't see it. It's like I don't think anyone will see it and read it.
That's a marketing policy.
Pledge your picket.
Put a brick in the wall. Who really cares?
Get your hand in the.
There's
print.
something at West Coast. A stud.
In a boot?
You'd have one. No, is it studs? There's something on the wall at West Coast. It's very small. I've had a look at mine. I think they're studs. You get a stud in the wall if you played for West Coast. You'd have one.
Okay.
You'd have one.
What about? It's sort of like the bell tower with the when you had your name on a plaque. At the bottom of the bell tower.
Yeah.
No one's ever going to look at it. You would have had one because you didn't go to school, primary school here in Perth.
Well, so everyone who went to school gets a.
Yeah, basically.
Zaid's from Victoria too.
Okay, so what happened was around maybe year 5, I think it was, everyone got given a tiny little piece of paper. You wrote your name on it. And then when they built the bell tower, if you go to the base of the bell tower, there are tiny plaques everywhere with everyone's name.
This is a paper or plaque?
No, you wrote it down so that they could use that.
And then they wrote...
and they made little plaques out of all of them.
Charlie?
I don't have one.
Yeah, but how old are you, Charlie?
22.
You're 10 years... The bell tower was well and truly built before you were born, man.
The bell tower was getting renovated by the time you finished.
They moved it. Yeah, there you go.
That's pretty cool. So is it gone? It's gone now.
Well, when they moved that
I've
area...
not moved at it.
A lot of kids' dreams are broken.
It's down in that Elizabeth Care.
Bell Tower Times about all I know. Moving through, did you see this? I don't know. Are we going to show
on time? I didn't know that actually.
Absolutely not. We went 1 hour 40 with Greg Hire last week. So we'll see how you do that.
That's the record.
That's the record. So see how you can do that. I mean, the Alastair Cooks story off the top is putting you in good areas.
Oh, shit.
Oh, you're doing well. I haven't even introduced you, really. I just said it's Xavier Ellis. People will be going, who is this?
Who's this fat prick?
No, they won't be saying that.
I saw the questions. Don't worry.
No, don't worry. We got some interesting ones. So this one here
People are cruel.
in the NBA, right? I think you might enjoy it. Donovan Mitchell asking for scores in the middle of games. You seen this?
No, I didn't see it. I don't love
Have a little
Donovan
look at
Mitchell.
this.
All right, it's a TikTok, so it's going to play.
We
You gotta do me a favor. Can y'all pull up the score?
I did see that actually. I did see
What's
that.
going on there? He can't be punting. No.
No.
What's he checking the? He's in a game. He's for listeners that hopefully we can pull this into YouTube.
I'll
but
put it
just
on
for
YouTube.
our podcast listeners, he is in the middle of a game.
Donovan Mitchell, who plays for the Utah Jazz.
He's a gun. He's in the middle of the game. He's asking people sitting on the sideline.
I think there was something significant that day.
It was around
record breaking.
It was around late December, I think it was.
And
then their records aren't similar, so I don't think he'd be the record right now doesn't matter. So I'm not sure.
You're a big NBA fan.
Yeah, love it.
Dan loves NBA.
I'd be watching with 4 a.m. up and going at work. I'd watching games every day. Yeah,
probably while you're on air too with the KO.
I bought this laptop the other day, And I walked into JB and I said, mate, I need a laptop. Because my other laptop, funnily enough, my little kid was having a bath. And I was watching, had KO cricket on. And he put his hand over the tap. And it shot like 2 meters. And landed on the keyboard and fried my computer. Anyway, so I went the other day and said, JB, I need a computer. I said, what do you use it for? I said, I just love watching American sport. And he goes, oh, mate, I got a rip it for you. And it's like one of those ones that just flips like 360. So, like, it's just like a TV.
tablet?
It's a TV. Oh. No, but it's a laptop, but it turns into like a... mate, rip snorter. So I just sit there
This
with
is
that
KO
up.
machine.
Yeah, and then when Baz goes, oh, mate, 1 song or 2 songs here. I was like, mate...
Check the
It's
scores.
3rd and 8 with 3 minutes to go in the game. Like, we're playing 2 songs here if I've ever played 2 songs.
This is a good little segue. I want to touch on this later, but I think we can touch on it now. I mean, you're in the media now, so I haven't given you any introduction. Xavier Ellis, draft pick number 3. That's correct, isn't it? Went to Hawthorn, played a lot of good footy there, won a flag 2008. Should have won the Norm Smith. Very similar to someone else on this podcast. I mean, Dan, you went very close.
Very close.
And suffered a lot of injuries. Got traded to West Coast, or did you get delisted?
Free agent.
Yeah, you got delisted.
No, free agent.
You got delisted big time.
No, hands on heart. They're free agent.
What does that mean?
I just got to pick where I went.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, so moved to West Coast. Played in the 2015 grand final with West Coast. So he's done a lot of things. Played in a lot of big games, well as well. So that's what you've done in your footy career. You've since moved into the media in Perth. We do a segment called Media Watch.
I've been on Media Watch, the actual TV show.
The real one.
Yeah, I've seen that.
What would you do?
In a good way?
No, bad way. Bad way.
So I thought they used you as a...
No, bad way.
Love it. I'll find it.
Yeah, I was on there for something.
Well, yes, you know it was.
It's sort of rite of passage, though.
Nah, it was just someone did something fake and I whacked them and they're like, do your research. Yeah, something like that.
Great.
How did you find your way into media? I mean, you wouldn't have gone through your footy career, assuming, I'm just going to do breakfast radio.
Nah, I started... I was the West Coast player at Hit 929 and you've got a broad audience. So, for example, at Southern Cross Stereo. In Melbourne, it's Fox FM. So I was...
You were the 5 minutes or 10 minutes away.
Yeah, so with 2 guys called Will and Woody, who were Melbourne lads I knew. And I was injured the whole time. So we just had fun. Like, for example, and this is still my greatest moment of my life.
I am birthday
Sam Kerr. Like, the best in the world.
Yes. Yeah. It could be actually better than anyone in women versus men. She could be better than any man.
Mate, she's so good, Sam Kerr. Anyway, she came in to the station and I was doing part-time sort of stuff because I knew Will and Woody were moving back over east. So, to move the chairs around without telling anyone, but everyone knows what's going on. Now, Sam Kerr came in and they're like, what can we do with Sam Kerr? What can we do with Sam Kerr? And they're like, well, let's make it like trying to belittle me. They're like, oh, let's do a contest with Zave and we'll get a soccer ball, like a penalty. She brings in something valuable to her and I bring in something valuable to me, and we put it on a podium 15 metres away or whatever, 12 metres away, and it sat up there on a podium like that, and mine was a good bottle of wine I got from Italy, like an expensive bottle of wine, and Sam Kerr brought in a family photo the day from the night she won, and this is poor, but won the Australian Female Soccer Player of the Year, so it's got a name. Anyway, so she went first. And she blasted it over the top.
Oh, so
She had to knock it off the perch.
Yeah, just had to smash it.
Bottle of wine.
How much are we
smash
talking?
it.
$100?
Nah, about €400.
All right, perfect. Are we? Oh boy.
No. So when you're over in Europe, you've had one. I don't even drink wine, and you have a taste test. You're like, oh shit, I need a bottle of this. What's that set me back? €400, and you go, fuck.
Should have stuck to the whippersnappers.
Yeah, whippersnapper. I had it actually in my bag, and I got taken off me in customs. But anyway, I stepped up and blasted her family photo into 1,000 pieces, and still to today is the best moment of my life.
Hang on, you've one shot?
Yeah, first go.
Sniped it
as hard as it blew her family photo into 1,000 pieces. And I said, this song, The Boys Are Back in Town. So Will and Woody are dry humping, the boys are back in town.
Playing from what? Lead speaking.
We had headphones because it's on air live. So that was when I started mucking around. But
Did you give her the bottle of wine or something?
No, the bottle of wine came back with me, and happy days. But that's how I got into radio. Amanda Lee, she was dating a teammate of ours, brother or brother-in-law, whatever.
Sounds legit.
Anyway, they had a party, and I mucked around on New Year's Eve and was flying on a flamingo. And like, oh shit, you might do radio. I was like, do whatever you want. Like, I'm in. But my theory leaving footy was just say yes to everything. Say yes to everything. It doesn't matter what it is. Just say yes. Do it once, and if you hate it, never do it again. But then you know you were shit at it or you didn't enjoy it. I think a lot of people say no, I'm a bit nervous, or no. I said yes to everything, like absolutely.
Did you do anything? Do anything that's people wouldn't know about,
like TV? Like I've never done anything in my life. And they're like, hey mate, can you go to the boundary for the AFL? And I'm like, yeah. Anyway, but I've got no idea what I'm doing. I've got no idea what I'm still doing in radio or anything. But I just had this in my head. I said to Em, my wife, I said, mate, I'm just going to say yes to everything. And that's all I've done. I just say yes to everything. And before you know it, I haven't really dropped anything. Even so much so I'm picking up a few things that now I'm like, I'm going to be shit at this, but I'm going to have a go at it.
Where do you fit in the media landscape? Not just Perth, but what sort of personality are you? I look at the media sometimes. I think there's a bit of an infiltration of a few types, and I get a bit frustrated with a few things. But I like the way you do it. What's your style? Do you have a style? Is it something you think about, or are you just yourself?
I think I'd like to be seen as not hated to start with, because some people love
hated.
Some like people in the media love to be hated. That's their stick.
Hey.
The way I presented to my boss at the time was I'd love anyone to want to have a beer with me. It was like my whole business strategy, I suppose. Anyone would want to sit around and have a beer, and I would want to sit around and have a beer with them.
Do you think about that, or do you just know yourself now? Do you just do you think?
No, still, it's funny. I still get a lot of people who, when you're out or whatever, will come and buy you a beer, and like I'm happy. Like I love having chats with people. I came to Perth not knowing a soul, really. Like I knew you through schools. You're in Geelong.
So a little story I thought about when Xavier was coming on. No, this isn't embarrassing. I was with Matt Spanger, good mate of Xavier's. They played together at Hawthorn.
I've had him on the pod. You can go back and watch it. It's on YouTube.
I'm sure Xavier has. I'm sure.
Yeah, no, I saw Spang.
Yeah,
I knew that.
So we were in Israel, Tel Aviv, and I've
heard a bit of Israel.
Vividly remember we're walking down a hill. It's quite late. It's quite late, 3, 4 in the morning. And he said,
catching the sunrise.
Yeah, catching the sunrise. And he said, Xavier's just signed with West Coast. I've just seen it on my Twitter or whatever he saw it.
Yep.
Let's call him. We FaceTimed him. I don't know if you remember this. It literally just happened.
Was I alive?
You know you're alive.
Okay,
yeah.
cool. No, I remember it well.
No. I vividly remember we're walking down this hill and me and Spang just by ourselves. FaceTime.
No, I do remember FaceTiming over in.
I don't know where you were.
No, it would have been in Melbourne. Yeah,
but
no, I do remember it.
But we were in Tel Aviv, and that's where Xavier was signed. What's this man? For our watchers, what's that mean?
Charlie knows.
Is that a beer?
Charlie knows.
Is that a beer?
Yeah.
A big development on BackChat here. We've got a fridge.
Yeah.
Look, we've been going through episodes. We love our whiskey.
Yeah, and I'm off the beers.
Actually,
you're off the beers.
What are you off the beers for?
Have you ever tasted the whippersnapper?
I've tasted it. I actually have it in my cereal.
I'm off the beers because I just don't need the
right.
Just don't need the beers.
I don't know how people have found this episode, but I've enjoyed it. We've been a bit all around the place. Media watch. Look, I've been barneying with Barra this week.
Oh, actually, talk me through that. I sit there and think you blokes are dickheads. And I laugh. Because I don't.
Tell me why.
No, because I don't go on Twitter for a day or two, and then something pops up.
I just love it.
I've got to click through chains to try and work out who's winning what.
Go through the thread.
Yeah.
I'll give you a 1 minute summary. I read the federal court documents of both Djokovic and the government, and I summarised those documents to say that Djokovic would win, and then the government would find a way to kick him out. That's basically what I said. And Barra said, nah, Barra wasn't happy, and I said that the coverage had been...
Do you hate Barra?
No, I don't
love
hate
Barra,
anyone.
mate.
I love Barra. Shut up, you. Look at this like a breakfast fucking radio.
Yeah, no,
Mate, I'm telling you, I do not hate anyone.
Nah.
I honestly don't. And he Barra doesn't like when I say media in general. He
Yeah.
takes it personally, which is he takes it to heart a little. Not personally, he just takes it on board, and he's the representative. And there's a few others like that, which is fine. But I like calling out poor coverage, and I thought the Djokovic coverage had been like, he's a bad man, he's done wrong.
What about him getting kicked out for
His views.
not for being
No, his views.
Yeah, like
No,
to
what he
being.
thought.
Because he might do something.
Did you not? I thought instantly that would actually spark the anti-vax.
Yeah, but okay, hang on,
More.
what's the percentage of vaccinated people in Melbourne?
It'd be 90 something.
95.
So who cares?
90.
I think it's 96%. So who cares if he sparks it? Everyone's vaccinated. Is it not?
No,
I've heard no one talk about that.
But if they just go, Craig Tiley, Tennis Australia, I'm like,
yes.
you've actually just embarrassed the country to start with, and you've embarrassed Novak, who, don't get me wrong, I don't again believe in whatever he's doing, but for that not to be sorted out before he left Serbia or Spain or wherever the God Dickens he was,
It was embarrassing.
the whole thing
It was
a shit show.
cringy. It was really cringy. We don't like talking about COVID here on.
No, but
Backchat.
more
I
Novak,
know,
the Australian Open, mate. Like
That's
it's-
why I was trying to look at it. Like, from
And
a
I'm
sports-
done with tennis. And I was like, Novak staying and playing. And I know, and I copped a lot of criticism on Twitter when I was like, I'd rather him play. And they're like, well, have you got a loved one that you haven't seen? I was like, yeah, I haven't seen my family for 2 years.
yeah,
well, have you got a loved one who's sick? I said, yeah, Dad's got leukemia. They're like, well,
Sorry,
oh
it's not-
shit, you
I'm
got
not
me
laughing at
there.
it, but like,
No, but like,
I know.
I don't have no interest in tennis anymore. But if Novak was there and the crowd was going nuts and it was the Serbians at one end, a bit like the soccer, Serbians at one end,
I'd
the
be
rest
getting
going
booed-
nuts.
Getting booed like crazy.
But the Serbian fans are mad too. It would have been an amazing sport viewing.
criticism on social media. Like, you'd cop it. You're active. You can say that you've
Yeah.
gone for a few days. But how is it?
Nah, I just
what ducks back? You like
always.
it? You hate
I
it?
don't like it. I don't. In fact, I'm lucky I don't get smacked too often. But I always, if someone writes back to me, writes something bad to me, I always just write back, "Gee, you're a nasty pasty," and like that just diffuses
There's no
everything.
response to it.
Mate, they're like, "This bloke's off his head."
You're a diffuser. I've seen it from you, and it's actually quite good. You engage someone who's going real hard.
I would say 80% of the time, I'll get a message the next day saying, "Sorry, mate, I was pissed."
Yeah.
I had one bloke want to come around and fight me. And he was like,
Meet me at Bunnings.
and I gave him like, mate, there's 4 reasons why we're not fighting tonight. 1, I got a dicky shoulder. 2, I can't fight. 3, you're bigger than me. And 4, get fucked.
Yeah.
No, and then the
Not
next morning,
fighting.
he woke up and he wrote to me saying, mate, I'm really embarrassed and sorry. What I originally meant was something a little bit funny, and it just didn't come. He's blind drunk. I'm like, what? And then it was when Shuey was playing, West Coast was playing Port Adelaide, and they were showing highlights of Luke Shuey kicking a goal after the siren against Port, where some say he ducked, some say he didn't duck. And I was like, they're showing the highlights, and I was like, oh, mate, you better apologise to those Port fans. You ducked on 7.
Oh, you said it on 7.
Yeah, a pre-game interview walking around the field, and Shuey's laughing, and but the bloke was like, doesn't realise we're pretty tight. And he's like, "You're an asshole for having a go at Shuey."
Right.
Anyway, he wanted to bash me.
What's the?
What do you think about that? What about text line? You work for a radio station. People text in all the time.
Yeah, I run the text line. I've always have. It's pretty friendly. I mean, I'm like Baz is a little bit divisive amongst
You everyone wants to have a beer with you. So
that's what I like to do, and that's why I diffuse things. Like if I just don't care enough about my own opinion or anyone else's opinion. Like, good on you, mate. You fucking want to go to a freedom march and block the roads. That's going to piss me off, but I just don't care enough to dispute it with you on Twitter. Like, I'm off. I'm going to sit out the back and sit in the pool with my 2 kids and take a different route. Whereas you'd be like, get off the road.
Oh no! Well, like I'm a little bit more abrasive than you. That's all. But I also, it's just funny you say that.
That's why I just don't care enough about the person.
Yeah, but I don't care enough either. I would never sit on a hill and be like, this is my only view. You can't say anything to change my mind. I've never been like that. But I'm also can be pig-headed. And be opinionated. That's fine. But if you have a good enough argument, I'll take you on board.
Yeah,
what was this meant to? What does this mean? Caro's arrow.
Yeah, they got hit with arrow once.
Talk about that? No.
Yeah, no, it doesn't worry me.
So you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, yeah.
Caro's
hang
arrow.
on.
Caro's arrow. What happened there?
Yeah, that was interesting. It was a cock up by me. Was it the bigger cock up as what it was?
It was on live TV.
Yes.
It's important to understand on live TV. I've done not as much as you, but live TV, you know, no tape backs either.
Nah.
It's no dump.
Nah, no dump. So the context is when you work in radio. So my wife was pregnant and it was due within a month or something, our second child. And on radio, I'd been saying
Every day, every single day.
like I'm having because the first kid, the labour with Ted went for 24 hours, and Em slept 8 hours of it. And I'm like, nah, the races are on. If I'm sitting there with a midwife student, we're going to watch the races or the cricket or the footy. Anyway, it was on Melbourne Cup, on Derby Day. Albie, our second kid's birth. And I made the comment that, you know, I'll be watching the races this time round, and while Em gets to work or whatever, anyway, it just got blown up, and I got arrowed for it. Should I have said it? Probably not. Did I mean it as though, like, I'm going to sit there smoking a cigar whilst my wife's in labour? I think that's probably a lot.
Did you have any further communications off air, off the social
with
Caro?
No, I haven't spoken to her. No. So her,
if talking about shticks, I mean hers is that.
I had a lot of feedback from Channel 7 support from people.
Yeah.
But no, nothing from Caro, which is fine.
Everything with context.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong, and I get national audience V, but when it came out of my mouth, I was like, oh, if you don't know, you don't know, and I get it, and I apologise for it. So, like, if you apologise for something, maybe you think there might have been
The apology was something you'll... Have you?
I think I've seen it.
I ended up getting quite a few views.
The apology is something you want to watch, Charlie. I reckon.
Well,
track down the apology.
I think
it was yes, you'd had.
What did you
and my little brother rang
record
me.
yourself?
Oh mate,
Yeah.
like, it's a presidential apology.
No, my little brother rang me. He's like, mate, you're in the arrow. You're cooked. I was
He's
like,
done.
You're on the couch.
What's an
I remember
arrow?
you're on the
Yeah.
couch.
But I was like, what's an arrow? It's like footy classified. I was like, man, don't watch it. Like, what? And of course, the time difference is it went to air over in Victoria. 9:30 or whatever. So 7:30, man, I'm ripping into the Peking duck rolls at home. And then I get a call like, hey, mate, you've just been shot in the head by an arrow. You've just been hit there with an arrow. I'm like, yeah, right, what do we do? And he goes, anyway, if you feel like you've done something wrong, which I understand why people I don't think many did. I think the support was probably around. It was just a off-the-cuff jovial comment, but I understand both sides. So apologise, move on. I haven't seen Caro. Did an event for her when I was in my first year out of footy. Funnily enough, her kid, son, daughter was a Melbourne Grammar, and whoever was meant to turn up to this footy event pulled out. So they rang me at like the last minute, and I turned up and did them a solid.
Melbourne Grammar boy.
We used to absolutely smack this bloke's school. Honestly.
I went to... we're going to get into a Xavier Ellis interview here because not only your media personality, you have played the game, you've played the highest level, and you've played very well. I actually... Before we get there, I went to a party at Caroline Wilson's house.
Did you?
She wasn't there, though. And very, very... Yeah, it's quite... the Melbourne Grammar crew, somewhere there.
No, so I think her
Point
daughter...
Lonsdale.
But her daughter was at school, maybe a year below or something.
Yeah, my year, I believe.
So that's how I met her. Was your year?
Yeah. No, you weren't. You're a year above me.
You're above, yep.
You're a year above me, buddy. What year did you graduate? 2005?
6.
Did you, buddy?
Yeah.
You born in 88, though.
Yeah.
Oh, because of...
Hey, you're in my year at school.
Yeah, mate.
You were not 2006.
I was, mate.
Hawks year.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
He was my roommate.
Yeah, I know. Okay, well, there you go. BackChat. We discover things every day. I'm not Joe Rogan. I won't die on this. That's true.
You're not passionate about this one.
It depends who said it.
You fall on that sword.
All right. Xavier Ellis, the interview, right? This is... we've
No, I don't want to hijack what you're doing. Sorry.
No, don't hijack at all. I just like drawing on pieces of paper.
What's this?
It's a whippersnapper there, mate.
Whipper.
Now, we like to ask our guests, and I know you'll have an answer here because you're a talented man. What is your greatest ever sporting achievement not on the football field?
Greatest ever sporting achievement.
Oh, Tom, what did Tom Hawkins have? Roommates?
Wasn't he a runner?
Yeah, no, high jump.
High jump.
High jump, that's
High
right.
jump. So he
could
won the APS high jump.
Mate, he broke records.
Andrew Bogut beat Phil Helmuth in a game of poker.
Okay.
Greg Hire, state chess
Can
champion.
you just stop? I sound like an absolute loser.
What do you got?
Okay. Do I lie or
No.
I would love to say. So I grew up around Scott Pendlebury.
Daniel Venables won the under 9 80-metre hurdles in state champion.
So Scott Pendlebury, they always say basketball,
Basketball.
but he always had me in basketball, so I can't even lie about that. Year 10, finished school in the AIS, not doing any cricket training or anything. Pull up and they're like, mate, you got to do a summer sport. And I was like, I'm pretty into my footy. And like, no, you got to do a summer sport. So I rolled out day one of cricket in year 11. So what with whippersnappers. Went to Wesley and one dayer and just peeled off a 209 not out and then tucked the bat under the wing and see you later, boys. This cricket goes pretty easy.
Did you retire? You go out?
Nah, then went and played first or whatever. But yeah, that
209?
was 209 in
Another
one day
player?
at school.
And what year? How old were you?
15 or 16
Very
or
good.
something. And I was dead set gave cricket away because I was scared of the ball. There's no line about that. There was one day, Nick Smith played 200 games at Sydney.
Yep.
He was a spinner at Scotch. And there was this bloke
What type of spin?
no, I think it might have been left hand offie or whatever he was.
Yeah,
It was
left-footer.
good. He might be a left hand offie.
Yeah.
Anyway, he was bowling. I was like, I can sit here all day because they used to open the batting. Now this bloke called Dean Sheets.
Sheetsy.
And he'd roll in and sling it as
I
hard,
remember Dean
as
Sheets.
fast, and mate, it was frightening. Honestly,
Like Sean Tate.
Sean Tate, he bowled like Sean Tate. He had no idea where
wild
it was
thing.
going, and
The
I was
wild
shit
thing.
at cricket, so I had no idea where it was going anyway. Anyway, so I was going to Ireland for international rules maybe a week later or something.
With the AIS.
Yeah, and I was thinking in my head, if Dean Sheets hits me in the head or the jaw, I got a broken jaw. If he hits me in the arm, I got a broken arm. He was so quick. Anyway, I'm sitting out there and I felt like I'd contributed to Dean Sheets. Not even like I haven't spoken to Dean Sheets in 50 years.
I'm going to tag Dean
Anyway,
Charlie find him.
I saw him on the bloody fine leg doing a bit of this stuff. And I was like, fuck that. So Nick Smith was bowling and I hit him to like the boundary line. There was a fielder out there. And so it was a jogger single. Anyway, I'm like, this is it, I'm out. Sprinted to the other end. Yes!
One
And
more.
then stumbled halfway down the wicket, run out by half, bat under the arm, left my cricket bag at school, never played cricket again. Goodbye. Gone.
Because you didn't want to face Dean
No, mate, no. I'd faced him enough. I'd done my time without being a chicken, and then the second innings, that was it.
All right.
So you faked a stumble to get
That
up.
could be actually your best achievement.
Ran myself out cold, but then played up like my spikes got stuck in the turf or something.
Go back with the bat, pat it down.
Mate, I would have been the flattest bloke in the world if the keeper had fumbled it.
So the Xavier Ellis story, right? So we interviewed Tom Hawkins. He was a father
Yeah, but
son.
you're dealing with stars there. I was just a battler, mate.
No, well, he was, you're not a battler, mate. Top 3 draft pick. Tommy Hawkins went a father son. I asked him on the podcast if his father hadn't played for Geelong,
Yeah.
would he have got picked before you? And he
wouldn't have.
He felt like he would have.
No way he wouldn't have.
Why not?
Well, to start with, he wasn't in my draft. He was too young. But
Yeah, perfect.
no, did he say that?
No, yeah, he said he's no. That's the hypothetical.
Well, okay.
If you and Xavier
the
in
year
same
12
draft-
season, year 11 season.
If you and Xavier in the same draft, who would have got drafted
I was
higher?
drafted in year 11.
Yeah, no.
He was still hadn't hit puberty. He was still fighting to learn how to run, the big dope. I was drafted bottom 8.
He may still be fighting to find that.
No, he got it worked out now, the big fella.
You a big fan of Hawk?
Yeah,
Doing
I
his
texted
thing.
him asking, hey, mate, how you going? Hope COVID's going okay.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard back from him for 3 days. So
No, he's poor on the texts, big time.
hopeless. He's hopeless.
So you don't think he would have been drafted above you in that?
Not
draft?
not under 17s.
All right, so you get drafted as number 3. You get
Under
drafted,
18 is very different.
Yeah.
He'd grown.
I used to
Become a
play
man.
on him. So you get drafted at Hawthorn. You're lobbed to a club at the end of 2005. You get there.
Yeah, but year 11. So
Yeah.
that's the confusion with what you
Yeah.
school.
So what did you go back to year 12 as a drafted athlete?
Yeah.
How did that go?
Nah, it's just said straight away.
So you got drafted year 11. You went back and did year 12.
Yeah, in
Well,
the boarding house.
Big dog at school.
And played for Melbourne Grammar.
I broke my foot, but yeah, well, the plan was, yeah.
How did that go? That was amazing.
Funnily enough,
you would have been the big dog.
I had $50 allowance a week. I've said this on a few platforms. So I was getting paid. Back then it might have been 50 grand or something.
Your top 10 would have been 50,
No,
45, 40,
yeah,
47.
But back then it didn't, like, it was like
Yeah, drafted.
drafted players get this, rookies get that. So I might have 50 grand, but I'll get $50 a week.
From who?
So money went to account,
Yeah.
and then I got $50.
Yeah.
And that just went to a box of beer every weekend, and or a box of Jim Beam. And
Yeah.
I still remember some
Or
of
the
the
Cougar
day
bourbons.
boys or Hawk or any of the boarders. They'd walk over, and obviously I'm having 6 Jim Beam, been a lightweight or whatever at the time. They go, "Oh mate, can I trade you a VB can for a Jim Beam?" You're like, mate, they're free for all. Like, go your hardest on everything, and then we'd duck into the Arcadia. Every weekend, underage, would go to the Arcadia, and you'd walk up and put on the same display every time. The same bloke was there, had long hair, and he'd go, "ID, boys." Oh, damn it. ID. Hawk, you got my ID? No, mate, nah, shit, where is it? You got it in your pocket. And then, in you come, boys. Tell you what, he nearly dropped dead when we turned 18. I was like, here's my ID, mate. I've been here for 3 years.
So 2022, and you'd be doing that with vaccination status.
Yeah, 100%.
no.
Oh, shit, where's my phone? But no, it's, that was good fun.
So you get drafted to Hawthorn. Hadn't been successful.
No, that was
for
shit
sub-
house. That was shit house.
They were poor.
Priority pick. They were given a priority pick.
So you get there 2005, play 2006 or not at all?
Nah. That's what I was saying is I said any club that wanted to draft me, if I was lucky enough to get drafted, I just want to finish school. I don't care. And in terms of my siblings, they were all very high 90s students at school.
What were you?
Lawyers.
What were you?
Mid-70s, yeah.
What were you doing? You're drinking a $50.
Drafted with me $50 in Jim Beam. But my parents are pretty academic as well, and they were pretty keen on me finishing school. And upon reflection, I don't think I missed out on play 6 games of footy or whatever it was at 17, or
Year 12.
finish
been your
school.
best-
And it was the best year of my life. And I still reckon, I know we're talking about Hawkins a couple of times, 300 games of AFL footy. I reckon he'd still say his best year of his life was 18 at school. Like, we had an unbelievable time. So, yeah, finished school. Actually, funny enough, broke my foot on a sprinkler cover that was broken in a practice match. Rolled my ankle on a broken thing, and then took my shoe off. It was like, geez, that's sore. Put my foot down, and a wasp went bang, have that too. So, mate,
What?
Yeah, so that night, it was a holidays period, and Richie Vandenberg, who was captain of Hawthorn, had me stay with him on Fletcher Street. I still don't remember. I remember that, but Fletcher Street and
You
Hawthorn.
got a good memory.
And he, I didn't want to wake him up because he's a tough nut. Rich was like, just respected, I think he might have missed a draft or rookied, tough captain,
Big
leading
jawline,
leading the charge, the fight between Essendon and Hawthorn. He was just like, we're getting done.
punching the
I'm
ground.
in.
He
I'm
was
in.
punching
Kicking
both
and
punches.
everything. So I didn't want to whinge to him. So I still remember waking up I was 17, and my foot was like throbbing, like doing that. I was like, this is so sore. And growing up in the country, you go get the ice, go get the bag of peas or whatever. I remember crawling out of his house and putting my foot in the freezer. I was like, I'm just going to sleep here. So I pulled out his bottom drawer of his freezer, slept on the floor in his kitchen, woke up, and Rich was like, mate, your foot's no good. I was like, oh shit, what's happened?
Was it the wasp or the broken?
No, but I couldn't have surgery for 2.5 weeks because of the swelling from the wasp. Yeah, so, mate, it was the biggest balloon. Anyway, so that's why I didn't play school footy or anything like that, but it was good fun to yourself.
So, okay, so you come to a shit club, effectively. They were,
When I say shit club, they were,
they were going,
Franklin had been drafted, Ruffy had been drafted,
but
Lewis had been drafted.
But they'd gone through a bit of a...
Well, they were still priority picks, so you're down the bottom.
But they'd gone through a rebuild as well, right? So
Clark had been his second, done 2 years, yeah.
So you move through that period, you don't play 2006, you play some games 2007, you come to 2008, and a lot of people describe 2008 as a Hawthorn Premiership that was stolen. Well, not stolen, but one, I don't know, before, I guess, your time. How do you reflect on 2008? You played in a Premiership and won a Premiership. How do you
So I
reflect on that?
reckon in 08, we played, funnily enough, Geelong might have dropped one early. We played Bulldogs and Tassie, both undefeated, maybe 10-0 or something, and Geelong might have been 9-1 or something. And we won that, and it was like, oh, we're good. Clarko's like, you guys are good. Like, don't worry about this. I was 19, I was 20, Cyril 19, Birchall 20, Franklin 21, Roughhead 21, Lewis 21. Like
That's young.
yeah, like you're pretty good. And then of course Hodgie and them. And you think, well, Hodgie and them were 24.
That's still young.
25 or something. Mitchell, the same age. Anyway, we played Geelong round 17 that year, and it was built up as like when you're in Melbourne. Can you remember the St Kilda Geelong game that Eddie had in 2009 or 11?
Knocked someone out in the goal square.
Gardner took the big mark.
Gardy, it was
all that sort of
Gardy.
shit. It was built up like that. Friday night footy, 90,000 at the G, purely Hawthorn supporters, purely Geelong supporters, and a couple of blow-ins, going to be a good game of footy. And we got rolled by a goal or something. And Geelong was seen at that stage as ungettable. Like they might have just peeled off 16 wins or something ridiculous. And we lost by a goal. And I remember leaving, and I still think it was probably the best game of footy I ever played. And I was like, oh, well, pretty proud of that. We didn't get done by 10 goals. And Clarko the next day, Saturday morning, we're doing recovery or rehab, and gets the whiteboard out and goes, we'll win the flag this year. Guarantee we'll win the flag. We'll sort out 2 things. I can't remember what they were, but it was like,
So he came in and said,
you'll win the flag.
And sorry, what round is this?
Round 17. You'll win the flag. You'll win it. And you're like,
young
all of a
blokes, a
sudden,
room of young
like, your
blokes.
chest is just...
Could go either way, that one, though.
Nah, well, it went the right way. Bud was kicking 100 goals that year as well, and Ruffy was kicking 90. And so we had like a best forward line in a long time. And then, yeah, in the grand final, they won the inside 50s. We rushed 12 points or 13 points.
So
Mark Williams was kicking points from our teammate of mine from 40 metres away.
that grand final is the reason that you're not allowed to rush grand.
You're not allowed to rush them anymore.
Yeah.
What-
But that
what-
wasn't a Clarko directive. That was just like
Smarts.
smarts. No one told us to do it, but like people were just like walking over the line and then off they'd go again. And yeah. So yeah, we Geelong were unbelievable. Did we steal it? I went in thinking we we're going to win it. So
Well, round 17, Clarko's telling you you're going to win it.
you'll win the
You had a
flag.
good game
this
that
year.
day.
Yeah, I played okay. Kicked it like shit.
You got votes in the Norm Smith.
I don't think I didn't.
You didn't?
No.
No votes.
Broke the record.
Very similar scope. Very
Broke
similar.
the record for the most marks ever in the history of a AFL Grand Final.
Still hold? Someone's broken as that? Oh, no.
Nick Haynes from bloody Gold Giants when they lost by 100.
Against
How far
Richmond.
back can you kick it?
Against Richmond. He beat you.
Mate, I'm being serious. Not one of mine was backwards. They were all forwards.
So Nick Haynes lost by 100 points and has beaten you, and you
No
don't.
shit. And I drove across the Nullarbor to watch it in a motorhome. Yeah, no, it wasn't great. Anyway, so no, we were just so young, mate. Like even when you won, you're like, what are you meant to do? Like there's 100,000 people here. Like what do we do? It's 28 degrees. It was so hot.
Was it?
Oh, it was so hot.
Hotter than 2015? I
Shit,
remember
yeah.
15
No.
was hot.
This was as hot as anything.
So-
And this is when and again, sorry if people have heard this story. Half time we were hanging on, and like Geelong were peppering. Then we jagged a couple. Went in front or just down, and we're in the room, and I was like, I am cooked. Like I've ran my ass out because back then I wasn't a bad runner. We had a few skinny
You're a
blokes
wingman.
running,
You're a wingman.
burning around. And I was empty. And I was like, shit, if I'm empty, well, at least 15
It's
others.
half time or three-quarter
half
time?
At least 15 to 22 are done. Like, we'd already lost Trent Crode and we'd lost Clinton Young. So we're 2 down on the bench from
Crody came into the game with a broken
sore
foot,
Yeah, just
and
stressing.
he properly broke it.
And he tried to knock Selwood out on the way out, going, if I'm going, you're coming. And anyway, and I remember the fitness coach, I was laying there as tired as I've ever been, just empty. And Andrew Russell, who has been...
Carlton?
has been Essendon 2000s, Port Adelaide 04,
Wow.
Hawthorn through there. Now he's at Carlton. Was like, boys, Geelong just got in a freezer. They just got in a freezer. They hired a portable freezer, like a truck, and parked it underneath.
Did
and they
they?
all piled in.
Did they?
And I was like, they're more rooted than me. And that was the moment I realised, without a hair on
I've
my
never
chest,
heard
just
that
going
story.
through puberty, I was like, they're so much more tired than I am. And that was like, for me personally, when I realised, game on.
Was that
Really?
actually true? Like, did you find out if there was?
Yeah, no, they had a
truth?
freezer. Yeah, no, they had a freezer. So
Wasn't
it
just
must have
a-
been
wasn't just a
Channel
motivational thing.
7 or 10 or whatever, had them
Yeah.
piling into the back of a truck, yeah.
That's good insight.
Which Geelong would say, they win the grand final. They'd say, Hawthorn, the small things like get the boys in a freezer.
Didn't come prepared.
Didn't prepare. We had the freezer. Boys' temperatures
But
dropped
you
really
boys
quickly.
took it as mental win.
They're cooked.
Mental
Yeah.
win.
And that was what we were all about in 08 was even we used to do running sessions and another club would be there. We would never allow to put our hands on our hips, ever. Or definitely not bend over or anything like
Show
that.
weakness.
Ever. Like
Who was that driven by?
Clarko and that group. But so you'd run the 2K and just be like, oh my God, it's hurting big time.
No hands on head?
No, nothing.
stand
Arms
there.
down. Arms down. Always.
I've got to be really honest and say a strong say. I fucking hated that shit.
Yeah. Well,
No, don't put your hands in your knees. Why the fuck not? You would have done it in the
then
fucking
we-
game.
nah, then
What
we
does that
used-
fucking mean?
then we used to watch another club train after us on Saturday mornings and they all used to do it.
So is that
And-
why? You mental edge.
No, but then I go into a game going,
You thought
I'm
you were better
fitter than them.
Yeah, okay.
So with the freezer thing, was that a thing that other teams had done in the past? Like,
yeah, I still do it a bit, yeah.
so it wasn't
Yeah.
just let's.
It was
give
an
this a
unusually
crack.
hot day on grand final
I've done
day.
it played in the Gold Coast, and we played North Melbourne on the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
Really randomly, Ryan Davis, my good mate, his first game, he kicked a goal in his first game, and we had a freezer out the back. But I don't know.
I just can't imagine your body enjoying that. Going
Oh,
from
mate,
one
it was
extreme.
it was
Just
28.
cold,
It was
mate.
hot. It was
We
only,
went through a stage at West Coast where it was compulsory to get in the ice bins at half time.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
so we would have used that against you too at the time.
Oh,
if we
correct.
knew
Yeah, correct.
they're in ice bins, you're like, oh, I'm good to like. It's a funny game footy,
Also,
right?
is-
Mental as anything.
Is 28 hot?
No. So, but in
Very,
Melbourne,
very
Melbourne you've gone
Melbourne,
from
yeah.
13s,
Very
and-
Melbourne
and
thing to think
like
28 hot.
10s,
No, but it's
9s.
I don't
night
know
games
why.
too, if you're pretty good, you're playing Friday
unfortunately, I
nighters.
agree with Zave here. Like 28 in Melbourne is like 38 here.
And in September too.
It just is, mate.
It was like 10 degrees hotter than you'd.
So your body can't handle it, so it feels hotter.
First final night game, second final night game, grand final 28 degrees. You're like, oh,
Right, so you win the 2008 premiership. Sorry. You go through some injuries.
Yeah.
Do you miss one at Hawthorn? Two?
nah. So 2012, I played in that granny and hurt my leg. I missed all 2012 season with a knee and a sore Achilles, which bites me in the ass. But anyway, my knee was not great, but good enough. And Clarko trusted me and put me in, which respect that so much. But obviously I'd been hobbling and whatever. I hadn't done a calf and I was hobbling, but playing and not knowing you're hobbling. You know when you just change your mechanics a fraction. Pinged a good calf in the 2012 granny. Like
When?
second quarter. And I jogged off and I said, I've just done a calf and I don't...
Knew you did it?
Yeah, it went. And they filled me full of local, like jabbed a soft tissue injury full of local, which never works. Anyway, you win the grand final. It's the best thing you've ever done. You lose the grand final. You're like, oh, that's sad. But then I missed 12 months after that as well. So I just could not get my leg back. And don't regret it. You win the grand final. It is like the best day of your life, minus having been married and kids or whatever. But then I missed, So played bugger all 2012.
So 2012 you lose to Sydney.
Yep. We had 25 more inside 50s, 25 more clearances, and Sydney just wasted new play. Just somehow.
Similar to you in 2008.
I think we had something like 14 of the first centre clearances. Like it was going our way.
So okay,
but
so you
Sydney
lose
too good for us.
2012,
Yeah.
2013.
Didn't play all year.
Yeah, and Hawthorn
Freo.
win and beat Freo.
Yep.
So you missed that.
Yep.
2014,
West Coast.
you come to West Coast.
Yeah.
And
Missed
Hawthorn.
finals.
Yeah, but Hawthorn win again.
Yep.
They beat
Sydney.
Sydney again, and you don't play a full year at West
Come on,
Coast.
let's go. You
I
heard
know.
me.
No.
I played
You play your fair,
17 games.
Yeah, you played a fair few games
Did my
as,
shoulder
as a
at the end.
backman,
Yeah.
and then 2015.
Didn't play the first 9 games with a hamstring.
Yeah,
Had a hamstring in pre-season. You remember this story?
Yeah.
And against
tell.
Port Adelaide, did a hammy, and someone sprayed me over the fence. It was like, I love seeing you injured all the time. I love it.
didn't you?
Might have
Joondalup.
No, in Port Adelaide.
How was it?
In Adelaide, the small ground, and might have told him where to go. Just frustrated,
Yep.
worked my ass off, had a buggered shoulder, managed to get back for
What did we get you? What did we trade you in here?
And the Port fan was like, gave it to him. I love seeing you injured. And I just said a word I certainly shouldn't have said to this person, and they made a complaint to the footy club.
Did they?
Yeah. And
Dobber.
and I was like, I've got the details. I'll apologise. I wrote like a 4-page letter about you're a bully. The person bullied me. I was like, I apologise for using that word around a kid, and I absolutely did. But you yelling that over the fence, you're a bully. I can't do anything. Like, what can I do for you abusing me?
Yeah, who are you going to tell?
Anyway, that didn't fly at all. And
With who? The person.
No, of course not. Me lecturing them on being a bully in an apology
So
letter.
where did that go?
Back to the footy club and then got fined. Yeah.
Gosh.
So how this happens, Dan?
This guy's a
Just so you
nut.
know, mate. So when something like that happens, the a complaint will be made to the footy club, and the footy club will come to you and say, "Look, I've done this as well. I will say that. Time for you to make an apology." So Dave's done that, but the footy club does trust you to make an apology. So clearly, Zave has taken it
They
upon
approve
himself
it
to not
before you
apologise.
sent
No,
it.
I just sent it. I said I've sent it. It's all good.
It's all good.
Yeah.
how's
I got fined.
How's the guy going back to the club again? That's pretty.
Nah, if I reflect on it and reflect on my behaviour, which you got to do, if I made a complaint and then received that letter from the player, I'd probably make another complaint.
Right, so a strongly worded letter went out. So this
No,
is-
but like, not even no language or anything.
No,
But
no,
I just
no,
went
strongly worded.
What example are you
Yeah.
setting for the child
Yeah,
that apparently I've offended? Yeah,
strongly
like,
worded
yeah.
letter. That's fine. Okay,
Yeah.
so you got fined.
Do
So
you still have the letter?
2015
Yeah.
came in, made a grand final against Hawthorn. It's your team that you win in 2008, lose in 2012, miss 13,
13,
14, and 15 redemption. Is that what you're thinking?
I thought we were going to win. I honestly, and Hodgie, who I've spoken to about it on the beers one night, he's like, mate, you're never beating us at the G. Ever. And I was like,
So we won a qualifying final.
smacked him with Subi. And
Smacked them. 40
Yeah.
points.
Yeah, smacked him with Subi. And I just went over there going, it's going to be a good game of footy, but I just think we're too good. But I was we were. I remember after the game, Simo said you were that close from being embarrassed. And I was like, nah, I reckon we were.
Why do you think that? What could we have done differently, West Coast, in 2015 to have, well, not won that game, but have not been...
Nah, we couldn't have played any worse. Naturally, you did turn up and have a bad day.
I know. But what could we have done? What could we have done? What would you have done? Like, would you have educated people about playing on the big stage? Would you have?
Nah, if we'd played
game
100
plan?
times, that was our worst performance you'd get in 100.
I know, but why did that happen?
No, you can't, I don't know. Like, it was a shit day. It was such a bad day.
We've thrown around the idea in the past on the podcast about a best of 7, or like maybe not best of 7 with the NBA, but if you did a best of 3, do you think you guys could have taken
No,
it?
game on. 2018, it means more to you that you went to Collingwood on their home deck and went whack.
Oh, yes, but in 2015, let's say you guys played a best of 3. Given how poorly you played that game, do you think you were good enough to beat
Nah,
them-
but if I
beat
turn
them
up
out
and
of 3?
Hawthorn played so shit, I wouldn't have been like, hey, have another go at it. Like, I'm
Yeah.
off. I'm out.
So my reflections on it, having played 18, was so we did the same thing. We didn't smack them, but we beat Collingwood in the qualifying final at home. And the differences,
Lewis Jetta.
yeah, the differences between the two.
Tom Phillips had a lot of disposals that day.
Do you know? Or he gone missing? Still searching for him?
No, had a lot of footy.
I see. I had a little bit of lick, did you?
That helped Ted's private school fund.
So Hawthorn 2015, in that grand final, like you said, we thought we were better than them, so we're gonna beat them.
Yeah.
2018, we beat Collingwood, but the preparation for that grand final was we weren't better than them. Like, we had to prepare again to beat them. I don't think the preparation was good enough in 2015. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I can't remember that well, but at Hawthorn, we certainly always prepared. Like, I still remember against Freo when they came over, and Clarko was like, they can't beat us. Like, they can't beat us. So get out of your mind any doubt of losing. They can't beat us.
if you
play-
do what you meant to do.
We used to talk about everyone playing.
I think we just thought we were going to win,
though.
though. I think in 2015,
Yeah.
we thought we were going to win because we'd done it, and we'll just do it again.
But yeah, we always spoke about it at Hawthorn. Get your 7 was essentially the phrase.
What's
If
that mean?
Everyone plays a 7 out of 10 game. So we used to always get a rating from Clarko with a comment out of 10. 8 was a really good game. 9 was unbelievable. Bud kicks 13. you're a 10. Like, no one ever got a 10. Get your 7. There was some stat that obviously they derived from, the past. It was 15 players got 7 out of 10. You never lost a game of footy. So that was where that came from. Just do your job. And Clarko's a mad Bill Belichick. Like a mad.
I can
Bill,
see that.
Like,
as well.
the story about his right-hand man who was on a flight, and Clarko met him. And I think this is right. Or this is not. Clarko met him overseas, and
who?
Belichick's right-hand man, and
McDaniels.
chewed the fat.
Do you know?
Yeah, it is his name, but I don't know if it was. Anyway, chewed the fat, and Clarko in the meeting is I'm out tomorrow, going from New England, Boston to New York or something. Clarko booked the seat next to him on a plane.
And just had him for 20 hours.
Or for 4 or 2 or... but no, Clarko calls it his Bible, Bill Belichick. And get your 7 was like, just do your job.
Sounds like the 400 plus that you guys had.
Luke Shuey has tatted on his ass.
Yeah.
An embarrassment.
Yeah.
Got some questions from that family a little later on for you.
Okay.
So 2015, we lose. I know it's a big disappointment for you because you invested more.
Massive regret, and I don't have many... If people go like, I don't have regrets. I live like I have no regrets. You're like,
Yeah, no, I don't
come
say
on,
that.
dickhead.
No,
You went through a red light. Like, you're sure what, you wanted to give $400 for the cops.
Correct.
A regret, I didn't shake any Hawthorn players' hands after the game. Sat there like a dick.
Why?
I just was like, oh my God, that's embarrassing. And just sat there. And that is funnily enough, a regret that I didn't go around and shake 22 of my... Because the year before, I was celebrating with them at Crown.
It was personal for you, 2015, though.
Yeah, I'd still like to think I was a better person to go and say.
Yeah, but you wanted to...
Nah, I wanted it so bad, but you don't get everything in life. I should have gone over and shaken everyone's hand.
So
And
when
I
do you-
didn't, I didn't shake anyone's.
So when do you finish? What year do you finish?
16.
16?
Yeah.
So 2018,
Calf.
West Coast, you injury enough. Were you done, 2016?
Oh, man, I
Done?
told
Enough?
Simo. I was 28, and I remember driving in. I was having trouble with leg, weight.
28's young. 28's very young.
Yeah, I missed 3 years of footy. And I said I'd rather do my knee 3 times because you've got to start point and end point, not rehab for 4 weeks, ping a calf. Rehab for 4 weeks, ping a calf. I did a calf in the waffle, and I sat in the rooms early, and Simo came in, who I respect so much, gave me a second opportunity. And he's like, how are you? And I was like, no dramas, whatever. And he said the next day, I went into his office and said, mate, I'm done. I'm out. See you later. See you later.
Was that the
And-
last game you played?
Yeah,
or?
and Simo was like, I could see it in your eyes. I could see it that you were just done. Yeah.
So you finished end of 2016. 2018, West Coast goes on and wins a flag. What do you feel? Like, how do you feel?
Thrilled.
Happiness?
And if Hawthorn now go on and win flags, I'll be over the moon for Hawthorn. Like, it's just when you're amongst the battle. I was so happy for you guys. I've turned into like a nuffy, a real nuffy for some reason. But
What do you mean, real nuffy?
mate, if you gave me a flogger in the cheer squad, I would have been on the fence. West Coast,
A flogger.
West Coast, I would have your face paint and everything. But I don't know, just bit.
Because you know the boys.
Well, I've done
mates.
it, been there, done it, and careers aren't fulfilled without flags. It's simple as that. Like, I look at Matty Pavlich, who is unbelievable and gave everything for a premiership and could not have done anything more for a
Couldn't be a better
premiership.
player.
Could not have been any better. He was so good.
All Australian.
Nick
every
Re-
position.
Nick Rewalt.
Yep.
Unbelievable. But they would give that back to win a flag. Not to have my career and win a flag, but to win a flag. And I realised the joy that you get that you are the best. You are the best. And it's been done over 25 weeks. You're the best team, and the camaraderie. And earlier that year, you're in Kokoda, or you've done a footy trip somewhere, or it just builds. It doesn't just start on day one, round one. It starts years in advance, months in advance, whatever. So I'd done it, and then to see you guys do it, having been on the journey for 4 years in there, and replace me with someone who could play, and away you go. No, I remember thinking, and Luke Shuey, Norm Smith, I mean, Lecker, JK, all the guys, We've all got different stories. Like, everyone's got a story. Like, Luke Shuey's not like just landed on the MCG and dominated. Like, his story is incredible.
Yeah,
like,
mate. Yeah.
So, I was a nuffy, full nuff. And I had a few bucks on West Coast too.
We're going to get a little, I think we get a little betting segment out of Zave before he leaves.
We'd like that.
Yeah, you like
If you need to.
Yeah, what do you think?
Fine, I'll find you something.
I think it's about the Xavier Ellis story there. But before we end that, you and I played with each other and against each other,
Yeah.
right? I thought we might just go through a couple of stats
Right.
to finish off your little
No,
segment.
don't. It's embarrassing.
What am I missing? No, I don't think it is. I'm missing us, Charlie. I'm missing us. Have you got that over there?
It's on the rundown.
So-
Actually.
No. When we're against each other. So with each other, I think we did quite well, Charlie.
No, we would have done well.
I think we did well together. Against each other, we played each other 3 times.
Yeah.
2008, 2010, 2011. Mm-hmm. Do you remember them? 2008. That's a long time ago.
Well, funnily enough, yes, 2008, Friday night, MCG, we got you by, I'm going to have a guess, 40 points or something.
More.
Bring it in, Charlie. It's fine.
126 to 69. 18 goals, 18 to 9 goals, 15.
No, I remember that night because it's an easy one to remember because West Coast don't get many Friday nights at the MCG. But I played on Selwood for a bit. I played on...
Did you play well?
Nah.
23 touches.
Okay.
23 touches.
I don't think...
2 tackles.
I don't think Clarko was
Two
thrilled
tackles.
with me that night.
Well, how do you reckon
No, I
John
definitely
How do you
think-
think John Worsfold was happy with my game? This is my stat line. I'll go from the other end. 2 marks. That's all right.
Kick-ins.
6 disposals. Poor.
No, well, it depends what Franklin did.
5 handballs.
Not a big day. No, that was when West Coast were no good, though.
Well, yeah, Scully was playing for them. 1 kick just for that day, 2008. 2010, we play each other. Any idea where that is? Or
2010. Over at Subi.
Yep, that's correct.
And I reckon we got rolled.
You did. You lost
Yeah.
by a goal.
I reckon we got rolled. No, I remember it. Mate, Nick Nat. That was the coming out of Nick Nat Annuity.
Was it?
Yes.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't that game because I played.
Oh, you didn't play that one then?
This one, you know what this game is? No one knows this.
Round 7, May 8.
My old man died 3 days before this game.
And you came back.
I came back and played. I know. Never went home.
Then went home and played.
Very good, Charlie. So I fucking played one of the best games I've played, and we.
Okay.
Oh fuck! I don't think this is this game.
So
No, I don't
you
think it's this
you
game.
guys got us in
This is
there.
102 to 94. That's a big scoring game.
No, it wasn't. No,
One-
I remember coming over and losing to West Coast because we kept kicking it out in the full.
All right,
and
so
Clarko goes, Subiaco's so skinny, don't kick it out in the full. And
So-
we kicked it out in the full like 25 times.
So we've just brought it back a little bit. Schofield, 11 disposals this time, 7 handballs, 4 kicks, 0 marks, 3 tackles though, 2 hit outs, Charlie. 2 hit outs.
Yeah.
Cox in that Anui. What was Wooshie thinking?
What about this?
I'm more
1
impressed
inside 50. What about
I'm impressed with his tackling.
Xavier Ellis? 5 tackles. Oh boy. 15 disposals, 3 marks. Pretty low day for you. 1 goal assist, 3 inside 50s, 3 free kicks, 4.
Yeah.
2011 is the last game we played against each other.
11.
Where's that?
That's down in Tassie. Have I nailed that?
Genuinely have not
And I'll sub.
have not given you any.
Yeah, this isn't.
Have I, no, I got
this isn't a
subbed off.
setup.
I did my calf.
York Park, Tasmania.
Yeah.
Round 4, 2011.
Yeah.
I think I got subbed off too.
Harder to tell.
Well, 9 disposals, who knows? But you've had 14, 8 marks. You liked a mark, didn't you?
Yeah, get out.
Not a lot of goal assists from you in any of those 3 games, but that's it. 2
That was, am I right with that? Tassie?
You win by a goal. You win by 1 goal down at Tassie.
Yeah. Ah.
What about together?
West Coast have always been great in Tassie.
What about together? Together?
No, that's
against?
That's against.
You got it together? Who's giving us together? Anyone?
Should be there.
That's
Give you
fine.
another copy.
That's okay. That's okay, Charlie. Together, we'll come back to it. You know what it's time for, Zave?
What?
This is a little bit of, actually before,
Time for a wee.
yeah, I know. It's almost time for a week. Now, it's time for you send it, we read it.
Okay.
I have our time together before we get there. Xavier Ellis, total at Eagles. So Xavier Ellis, you played 34 games for West Coast.
Yeah.
21 wins, 12 losses.
It's a pretty good ratio.
9 goals, was it?
At 61%. With Will Schofield, 26 games. Played 26 games together. 16 wins, 9 losses. 61%. Still at 61%.
Stuff on the ratio, yeah.
Together, look, Scully averaged 15 disposals. That's actually quite good for me. It's actually very good, to be really honest. Xavier Ellis.
We never touched it down back. Like when we got a little goal, it was like, that'll do. Then we moved on.
Yeah, I know. Well, we played together in the back line.
We never touched it. None of us ever touched it.
We should have, shouldn't we? All right, that's in the bin. Goodbye. You send it, we read it. The people write to us, emails, and they send it, we read it.
Okay, makes sense.
Whatever they send.
That's real radio stuff.
This
That's
is
the rules.
yeah, I've got... How do you come up with some of those just real grabs in Radio Land, mate?
Like you just did then.
You send it, we read it from Sean Host.
Sean Host. All right, we're
Sorry.
skipping that one.
Sorry, I've missed one, have I?
Yeah, we've missed one.
Oh, who's this from?
Hit us, Dan.
Keely Judge.
Keely Judge. Very big fan.
I'm going to read this out.
Yeah, we love Keely.
You're involved in this, Dave. They sent it to us before they knew you were coming, but it's for you as well. Hey guys, happy 2022. Look,
Thanks, Keely.
I think this gets sent to us in an appropriate time to wish someone a happy new year. It has passed that time.
Just going to pour a whippersnapper
Go
while
for
you're...
it. Well, I'm going on.
I'm good on the whipper.
Okay.
Work tomorrow morning.
Are you still going to do BackChat merch? I vote shirts in 2022. The answer is yes.
That's correct, Keely.
Did you buy one?
Of course
Actually,
I
you're
would.
not going to buy one. We'll give it to you.
No, we'll give it to you.
Yeah, well,
You're a guest.
wear it every day.
I support the
You're a
community.
friend of the family.
I don't mean to bring up another podcast in this one, but do you listen to Hamish and Andy's pod?
I've listened to every Hamish and Andy podcast, I reckon.
Yep.
Done Africa quite a few times. And when
All
you're...
their shows?
Yeah, like, so back did from like 06 or 7, whatever, and
They just did what they want. They were
Yeah, and
we want to
listen
go
to
to
them all.
Africa. We're gonna do a
so
show.
I was on like middle of nowhere in Africa, no reception, but I had all
right.
these downloaded podcasts, flights, everything. Love Hamish and Andy more than any other radio show or duo or
Yep. They're
movie
legends.
star. Hamish and Andy were for me growing up and living in Melbourne. I know they had a big event in Perth once where it was sold out, or 10,000 went to NIB or whatever.
Not allowed to come anymore.
Mate, it was in Melbourne. Like, they would go, we're going to do an event at the MCG, and 20,000 people would turn up. But the best thing about Hamish and Andy were, you could be at the pub in Richmond on a Sunday, and Andy could be there with a mate having a beer. And you're like, oh my God,
They're the people's people.
that's
Yep.
right.
So
Is there a point to this?
Keely's brought it up because
Oh.
she said Dan referenced 12 Degrees of Kevin Bacon in an older episode, so I assume
Did
that
you?
I listened to Hamish and Andy. But I think I don't think Hamish and Andy created 12 Degrees of
I don't know what you're talking about.
Kevin. Basically, we're all going to be linked to Kevin Bacon somehow. Like, we could find 12.
5 degrees of separation.
It's exactly that.
So within 12, you'll get to Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, so I asked because they do a special skills segment, and on Coast to Coast, Oscar and Hammer spoke about Jacko Nelson's special skill of knowing what boots every player in the AFL wears.
Do you know that? Jacko Nelson knows.
I
You
knew
name a
something.
player, he knows
Yeah.
what type of boots they wear. Not Nike, like Nike.
Oh, no, I
Texans
couldn't
or-
tell you that stuff. Yeah, no.
It's a bit.
No
It's a
good.
bit. It's a bit.
So the questions are, what would your special skills be?
Oh, I don't really have one. You have one. I mean, you remember those those games.
Yeah, no, I do. I'm pretty good at remembering games. Of
Your
footy, yeah.
games? Are you visualizing them, or do you just?
I
remember
can
stat
visualize
sheets?
something out of it, yeah, generally. Yeah,
you
generally
go.
I can visualize something.
I reckon I can pick when someone's had a haircut. I reckon that's always been a skill of mine.
Is it a skill?
Yeah.
I mean, I generally,
Charlie's not happy with
I
it.
generally walk up and go,
I mean,
hey, Charlie, nice cut.
You've washed your hair today.
Yeah, I watched it.
I didn't notice though. I felt it.
No, I'm not saying wash. I'm
nice.
saying haircut. Anyways,
Look, I don't think I have a special skill, to be honest. Not very good.
and Keely's asked for Jacko on the pod to test his
We can do
special
that.
Keely's
skills.
down for Jack.
No, we can get Jacko on. We can get Jacko on.
All right, thank you, Keely.
If we can get Zay, we can get Jacko.
Oh, hang on.
He does say yes to everything though. He told us that.
Sean Host.
Hi guys, long time listener, love everything you do. Question for Will.
Big props.
Let's say Anzabe. I remember watching you at preseason training many years ago at the old Subiaco Oval and was absolutely blown away with how fast you were up close. Okay.
He writes his own emails.
Yeah,
in.
he does. It blew me away
Go on.
the way you covered the ground. All right, let's rein it in, Sean.
Yeah.
And to this day, I still talk about it.
Yeah, so it was real.
Not long after your match, Sim, I've seen you leave your breakfast on the sideline. So
Sorry?
you either place a
You're a
sausage and
skewer?
egg muffin on
Sean, look, first 4 lines of that, couldn't agree with you
You're
more,
a good
mate.
runner, I'll give you that.
Was quick. Even later in the day, I was quick. I used to set the speed records for the game. I reckon the last game I played, I was the quickest man on the ground. How about that?
Funnily enough.
How about shut up, you both of your asses?
In my second pracky game for West Coast, I set the speed record. I got pushed in the back. And you know when you're running and you can't stand up? You know when before you fall over? And you just can't come up. And I was running with my head down. And at the end of the game, they're like, the Monday, or they're like, gee whiz, mate, you hit a really good speed. I was like, no shit, I got launched out of a cannon.
No, I've never been a spewer. I don't think I've ever spewed after a training session. Didn't work hard enough. Sorry,
So
Sean.
the question is, can you remember any teammates that potentially pretended to be sick from exhaustion just to either get out of the next drill or try to show the coaches he's training the house down?
It says, P.S. I reckon Sam Mitchell would be an awesome guest. Okay.
Yep.
Tom Barras was this.
So
I did a special
okay.
session with
I was going to say maybe we don't name names, but
No, Tom, he would love this. So Tom in his first year, and I wasn't a good runner when I was at West Coast. I was well past my prime. And I did a running session with Tommy Barras. It was like 8 400s. And after reading 4, he was spewing. I was like, mate, you're dead.
Tommy is a spewer.
Is he still a spewer?
Still a spewer. Look, I was going to say some key position players at West Coast, mainly in the back line, may or may not have found reasons to not partake in the 2K time trial.
Every club's got that.
I will say, well, you were one of them.
What, because
you,
I haven't
no, you were one of them.
I've got half an Achilles.
I've
got half an Achilles. You can't run on a hard deck.
never ran a 2K time
Never
trial
at
at West Coast.
Nah. At Hawthorn, I did it
And you did a deal with Adam Simpson to not do those.
incorrect.
That is a lie.
No.
Don't
Incorrect.
lie. You're right here on camera.
They were making the coaches were making bets one year whether I'd get under a certain time or not. They made a line.
And you still didn't.
I didn't
run it.
I didn't do it.
Never ran one at West Coast. Sam Mitchell never ran one as a player. A lot of deals getting done on
What's
the
the
table.
deal?
Well,
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Just
like a cash.
The deal. Hey, mate, I'll come play for you, but I'm not doing I'm not.
tell you what, I would have asked probably more money first if that was the deal. If we were doing deals, I would have gone maybe a little more coin.
All right, this is from Adam Hart. G'day, Hardy. How are you, mate?
Hey guys, loving the new pod. Quick question. What the hell is the AFL going to do this season with all these COVID cases infiltrating the clubs? Surely they can't do what the Big Bash is currently doing, cancelling and rescheduling games every 5 minutes. This is from...
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Adam Hart. No, that's right.
Adam score underscore. Very good, Adam. I appreciate that.
I'll fire.
Yes.
Treat it like a calf injury. 90% of my mates have had COVID now. They're in Melbourne. They've all had it. Treat it like a calf injury. Miss a week.
This is America. This is the American model.
Yeah, do your 7 days. Get a negative test. And away you go.
Health and safety
What do you
protocols.
What do you think?
I've no idea how it's going to pan out.
That's
If they try to be too protective, yeah, you're going to have to reschedule games.
But I think too, it's the luck of the draw of the season. So, for example, if you because you don't get tested, is it 3 months again? So you've had it, you're not touched for 3 months out. Like you don't get tested, you're just away. So you go, but what happens if Fife, Brayshaw, and Sean Darcy all get it in one game? And you go, well, unfortunately they're out. But what happens if Fremantle are playing Richmond and Dusty, Tom Lynch, and Dylan Grimes have it? Like, it swings and roundabouts. You take a punt on one game and treat it like a 6-day
but the only
injury.
thing is with that, mate, all the states don't have the same rules. So
Well, that's outrageous to start with.
if West Coast something happens at West Coast, it can be different to happens in Melbourne.
But fast forward, we're still 2 months away. It's going to be everywhere.
I don't have great confidence that's
Well, what are they
that's
gonna do?
Be the case. They're going to have to get West Coast and Freo into a hub. They're not going to be able to stay here, mate. Do you agree with that or not?
No, I honestly reckon in 2 months'
Let it
time,
rip.
it's not even let it rip. It's just like, it is what it is.
Yep.
And
Candace, let's go.
Hi guys, loving your pods as always. Keep up the great work. Oh, this is a longie. Since you have well-known media personality on the pod this week, I thought I'd ask, how does West Coast go about... I think this was for Josh Garlett, by the way, but that's fine. We've moved on to another week. I thought I'd ask, how does West Coast go about
Premium
putting up
Josh Garlett,
players for shows? E.g., in the old days of the footy show, Game Day, Talking Footy, Marngrook, does the club ask the players, okay, who wants to go on, or they specifically send one player who is media trained, or do the players just simply say no? You hardly ever see West Coast players on any shows, whether the club is winning or losing, even with the current shows. That's a whole lot of...
It wasn't like, hey, who wants to go on this show? It was media department putting blokes in, but that media department knew who
So
who was capable.
I reckon they put you in categories.
Who was capable.
Yeah.
They had the capable. They had, okay, he can answer some questions, but he's not going to give it too much away. And then they had, do not put him in front of the camera.
But then there was the stars as well.
Yeah, true.
So stars were separate, and then there was capable.
I'd say Xavier and I are in the same.
Capable and acceptable.
Not stars.
Stars.
Yeah.
God, who knows?
Oh, okay. So it sort of leads into the next bit. Down on the other side, as a journo/producer, do you request certain players, or do you just take whoever the club's says you can have? Often you would request a certain player because you think that's going to give you the best interview, but often players,
there's
clubs
a
go,
roster.
nah, he's got this and this, but you can have this person instead, and you sort of, but
in the media, you got no leg to stand on. And go, okay, we'll have.
Yeah, we'll take.
I've requested Fifey, and I've ended up with Liam Henry, who I love, for example. You go, well, the conversation we'll have with Nat Fife to a second year fall. It's all like you just take what you get, though.
The other thing is, to be honest, often the stars, some of the worst chats.
Sean Darcy, we had him on Triple M, so he's a country boy.
Who's your Freo representative at Triple M?
Sonny.
Yeah, it'd be good.
Right.
No, but we had Sean Darcy on, and I said to him a question. I can't remember what it was.
He dropped the F.
2 F-bombs in it. In his answer.
Was that on Triple M or 7?
Triple M. No, Triple M. Yeah. 2 F-bombs. Like,
What
what do you do? I think the question was, what are you going to do tonight, Sean? Do you get a chance to have a stubby or something like
Yeah,
this?
oh.
I'm fucked. I might go home and just have a fucking feed. And you're like, holy shit, we're live. And I'm laughing. I'm thinking that's hilarious. But of course, the
Luke
broadcasting it and thinking.
Luke from Freo is probably not happy with that. Also, side note, I think you should do a show with Butsy hosting again.
Yeah, look, we've put that
Dan
out to
should be
Butsy.
the guest. I'm not sure.
I'll let you know. I'll put it out to Butsy. I can read the text message.
You're not keen.
He lives about 400 metres down the road. I said, Butsy, half an hour of your time every couple of Mondays. We'd love to have you on. Who knows, mate?
Yeah,
Look,
nobody
I'm not a
knows.
bit of. I've been known to ban people from the show. Butsy's not banned, but I will say.
But what is he doing work-wise?
I don't know, mate. He's working for Nokia. 3310s. I believe he's selling.
If you're going to snake
Slinging
two, if you're going
33
to snake two, I'm not interested.
All right. Well, we've got a big social media ahead of us, so I'm going to skip the rest of the You Send It, We Read It.
Sure.
We're going to have to bank them for next week. You know a lot about social media.
Social media.
This isn't your first time on BackChat.
No, I back-chatted it. Wasn't it West Coast? It was, might have been at Subi, old Subi setup.
So a while ago.
Yeah, long time
Mate,
ago.
no doubt social media has followed you through that. Very, very big segment across Perth media. I'm sure you know about Triple M.
Yeah, mate, well, I often steal stuff from it.
All right, perfect.
That's where content comes from.
Great. Ben _.
Don't worry about putting this podcast out. I'm running it tomorrow.
I've done that plenty of times on 6PR. Moulton 1990.
1990. Would you? What would he rather? This is for you, Zay.
Me, okay.
To have won the 2015 flag or a lifetime supply of single fin?
Nah, it's funny. And the single fin stuff it stems back from, you know that, what's the ad where it's like, the big bloke's like, I don't like beer anymore.
Oh, the Canadian club.
Canadian Club.
I actually hated beer for so long, and I used to get so hungover, and it was painful. And then I found this beer, and I can now have as many as I want in terms of, and then wake up and I'm bulletproof, touch wood. So it's not like I drink a shitload of them, but this is the only beer I drink, like pretty much. It's like I just know that I'm going to be happy and healthy. I'm taking the 2015 every day.
Wow, yeah.
Having said that, the Gage Road...
You said that your career was unfulfilled without a premiership.
You've got one.
I know. Oh, I'm just saying.
Oh, so...
Oh, you were...
Shit, I'll take the beers. But the Gage Road's down in Freo at A Shed, next to Beach, with the Rotto.
Yep.
Ooh,
Pretty good.
unbelievable.
Really?
Unbelievable. It's the best joint in Perth. Yeah.
Okay, you've
And
heard-
I've got no...
Heard it if it... No,
I
there's
have no affiliation with them.
No, we only have
Sounds like you
affiliations
do.
with Whippersnapper here.
Whippersnapper, who I
If
love.
Whippersnapper did a beer, I'm sure you'd drink that.
Oh, mate, 100%.
Look, you got to appreciate this username, Bevan _Howell __ I feel like we're chucking a couple of extras in there, and we love it. Thank
That's
you, Bevan.
fine. Is Xavier Ellis or his kids sponsored by Colorado? I believe it's a clothing brand.
So I think, what's his name? Bevan.
Yeah, Bevan.
I think Bevan's got Colorado and Country Road.
Oh, so he wants to sponsor him.
Nah, there's a running gag, and I'm not fashionable. I get it. I'm wearing Shane Warne riding a cigarette. Like I get it.
Your shorts are Shane Warne riding a cigarette.
So I'm no good at fashion, but you know the country road jumpers that are like
Nice.
pick your colour. There's
Yeah, a bit of Melbourne grammar.
8 or 9 colours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've got like 6 of them. My kids have got a few of them. They're just bulletproof.
So is Bevan an owner of one of these?
No, I think Bevan thinks so. I get heckled all the time, like about you're turning up on your doorstep.
Okay.
I think that we're
Well, if
Colorado.
any representatives from Colorado are listening, Dave will be open.
I'll wear Colorado.
Yeah,
I'll wear anything.
absolutely. As you heard, inject him with anything for a bit of
Oh mate, you got $1 million. Just do what you want with me.
_Dilbert_. Yep, we love that.
1v1 post-footy Zave versus a post-footy Scott Cummings. Who wins?
That's Scotty Cummings.
He's
a big man.
He's
What
an
are we
absolute
doing
beast.
first?
Yeah,
actually?
while drinking.
No, Scotty Cummings. I own Scotty Cummings. He was so talented at footy too, by the way.
No.
No, Scotty Cummings, hands down. I love Scotty Cummings.
Yeah, very good. So this is from Danny Alio.
Okay, which one do you want to go to?
Oh, let's go the first one. We'll go both of them.
All right,
we'll give her a
guys.
couple.
Okay.
I want to know how Zave.
Before naming who that is, if anyone doesn't know who that is.
I want to know how Zave gets his front lawn so green. It's so
Yeah.
lush. For this time of year, any secrets?
So my front lawn's dead as a doorknob.
Yeah, I've heard this.
But
Orange.
my backyard's as perfect as you'll get.
Bit of
But-
feedback, potentially a bit too much time on the magnolias.
Oh mate, Frangipani Boulevard. It's unbelievable at the back. The backyard is like, it's funny. And my goal in houses or whatever is like, if the kids have a sick backyard, I don't care what inside is. Like, and inside's not great. The backyard's great. Front yard is shit out. So that's my next job.
So your lawn's looking a bit average.
Oh mate, you can't walk on it. Not because of prickles. Is that dead? It'll spike you.
Positively green. I interviewed Michael Martens over at 6PR. Yeah, I reckon I might send this little segment across. Maybe a bit of lawn segment for Positively Green in WA, because it sounds like you need a little bit of it,
I
so.
just need front lawn and retic. I had retic put in the backyard.
Is there
Are
some
you a
shade in
lawn,
the backyard?
you a lawn guy?
Look, it's
of lawn
Perth. You can't have good lawn in Perth.
Well, mate, you can if you don't stick to your watering days. Not that I don't, but backyard is schmick. Like it's front yard is so bad.
No, it sounds
It's
bad.
embarrassing.
It does
It's
sound bad.
embarrassing.
You know what? It deters people from robbing you.
No,
There you go.
All right.
I've got 2 theories: bad lawn and top of a hill. You know,
Water's draining
if you're
away.
going to rob a house, you're not going to go to the top of the hill. You're not going to walk up a big hill and get to rob something.
All right, this is question number 2 from Danny, and we'll for listeners that don't know who Danny Alio is, we'll let you know after this question, and I want you to read this in full, please, Dan.
Hi guys. Please ask Xavier if he cooked his sausages the whole way through on Saturday, as I had it coming out of both ends about 6 hours after leaving his house. Thanks. Oh, and if I can be anonymous too, please. XO.
So, Danny, this is where we
can't
have an
be.
issue. You turned up with nothing. You swam in my pool like you do 40 weekends of the year. You went home without doing a dish. And now you're telling the snags are no good, of which I didn't cook the snags. So,
cooked the snag?
Breno, I had a kid in one arm and a beer in the other, and I had the steaks. So, anyway, Danny, I appreciate that.
I mean, so Danny's asked to be kept anonymous.
So it's Luke Shuey's wife.
If I can be anonymous too, please.
Actually, Danny made a comment to me about why she didn't want to get in the pool. No, I won't say it, actually. Move on.
We're open. Go on.
No, I can't go there, but Danny said I can't get in the pool.
Okay, I don't know if I want to go
I
there.
can't go any further.
All right, well, I'll leave the next question
Join the dots.
anonymous. This one will be anonymous, but
sure, I
we
got
can
one.
speak about who this is after the fact.
Okay, ask Tucker about the reverse program when you're in rehab.
Right. So,
you wanna
first of
first?
all, what you asked me?
Who's Tucker?
Me, in Hawthorn, I was known as Tocker.
Tocker.
Well, it was toxic to start with.
Was it? What does toxic mean?
The old X-Man is cool. Toxic. No,
That is so lame.
no, they used to call me Tocker. Tock. I don't know why. And I start, when you're young and you just put you get a pencil case, it's like, is cool on the back of everything. Did you ever do that?
Yes.
is cool.
Xavier's cool.
It's spelled toxic. So I was the reverse program is we used to do everything right to get back from injury. And my calf would ping, and I think I know who that's from. And would do everything right, like nut home, ice bins, no weekends, stretching, everything, and never got back to play. She kept pinging calves. So one day, me and this person said, "Nah, bugger it, flip it on its head. We're done mentally too. I think mentally we're both a bit."
What year is this?
13.
Yep.
13. So we weren't playing, and we just did like, okay, we'll train, we'll do it all, but I'm going to go have 10 pints or 10 pots in Victoria on Saturday. And I'm going to do everything right. But on the side, I'm going to have a cheeseburger. Like, we were just that mentally, like, done with.
So you reversed, instead of doing everything right, not everything wrong, but also just
do
like
it. Throw in things that rather than, did you go for a beer on the weekend? Yeah, I did. And I had 15 of them. And you know what? I'm mentally so much better than I was for doing rehab for 20 weeks.
Did it get back? Did it get you back on the park?
Well, he won a flag.
That's correct.
It's the old George Costanza method of doing the opposite of every.
100%. And we've done everything for like, I missed 3 years of footy. Like, eventually we needed a patch of like.
Second part of this question from
Also
this same
asking
person.
about our annuity scheme focus. Time and game, not games played, because the aim.
That's right, annuity. So this person and I were annuity players. So every AFL player gets 20,000, I think it is now. Maybe
Close to that.
in an account. So a lot of people don't know. So 20,000 every year on a list. The AFLPA put in via the office of the AFL, put 20,000 in an account. Bang! You don't see it. Doesn't come out of your account. You don't know about it. You haven't touched it, and it happens every year. So if you've been there for 2 years, 40,000 that you haven't touched. But if you've been there for 10 years, you've got roughly 200 grand.
It's like super.
It's
a retirement scheme.
It's a retirement scheme.
Right,
So you get, I think it's 30% after 1 year out.
Yeah.
And then you're not allowed to touch it for a further 5 years, so effectively your sixth year. Then you get drip fed over a period of time. So your fund might be
Yearly payouts.
So if you're over 10 years, which Scully and I both were, it's for 15 years. And it's so whatever your pool is, 7% of whatever you pool.
The idea is you get that payout after 12 months of 30%, and then there's a 5-year wait, and you should be back up to the same amount in that 5 years. It's invested, right?
But what they used to do was they had the same scheme going, but say players were doing 200 grand from doing nothing, retire, start to pay tax on it, so 100 straight away out the window. Vegas, Europe, Bender, and a new car. And they go, well, hang on, you've spent 150 grand. So all of a sudden you're in the hole, you owe the tax department 30, and it was just bad.
This payout we're talking about, I got this year.
Right.
The 30%.
So the 30%
Yeah.
payout. And that's taxed. It's not tax-free. So what's the annuity scheme you came up with this player?
No, so we were hanging on for dear life thinking, don't worry about if you play, you play. Just get a couple of contracts, because annuity just keeps building and building and building. It's more the financial structure.
So this player, people, big fans of this podcast will know. Matt Ranger. That's right, Matt Spanger, who, as we spoke about, played across 3 different clubs and has extended his career, maybe greater than any other player in the AFL history.
We just kept saying annuity. When you're 35 and your kids are wanting to go to school and you're broke or whatever's going on.
1 more year.
And just get another year. Just get it in the account. So he's just on annuity contracts.
All right, Llama_Bowie.
Will the great X-Man sell me his 87 original Eagles jacket?
No.
How do you have a...
Em's uncle, my wife, had 2 uncles playing that game. And for some reason, I've got the jacket in my wardrobe. Yeah, no, it's got the old SGIO.
Oh, that's very good.
Faded.
Did you wear it? No.
No. I've worn it when I was full nuffy 2018. I had it out a couple of times. Zip didn't do up. But no, I'm not selling that. It's not mine. It's in my wardrobe, but no, I'm not selling it.
Before you go to the next one, your stance on wearing team gear not on game day to the shops.
Just if you're a punter.
Out for a coffee with a mate.
So the shops, IJ.
Eagles
IJ
polo.
on Tuesday.
Oh, mate, I'm sort of half invested in this area at the moment, so I'm all for it.
Boy, oh, you are too. You are too.
No, I reckon all.
No, tell the people, mate.
No, I can't.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So you're a tick for it, are you?
No,
You're on
for it.
Dan's side.
Yeah.
I don't have a side. You're
Hey,
just
you're
so
a Freo.
anti.
Dan, you're Freo.
No, I'm an Eagles.
just-
I'm
Oh, you're an Eagles man.
I'm an Eagles
I
fan.
thought it was Freo.
No, Charlie's a friend.
Oh, Charlie's
I'm
Freo.
Yeah.
I mean, on a Tuesday, you're getting your meat out of the, fruit and veg, down the meat section of the IGA. Just wear it as a normal t-shirt.
As a player or a
No,
fan?
As a fan.
As a punter.
This guy doesn't want
No,
fans
mate.
to enjoy the club that they support.
It's like I'm a Freo member.
Mate, we pay your wages.
Pardon?
I'm a Freo member, and I was disappointed
Charlie's
when
a bit. Look at how
Let up.
when my pack turned up. I was like, "Give me a scarf or something," because I can palm that off for someone. But like,
I'm going to be honest. Dockers merch and Dockers kit is better than West Coast.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. Dave
Old,
doesn't mind
old
it.
school Dockers is great.
Yeah, that's a no. So
Old
that's
school.
what I mean.
Yeah, the green, red, white anchor.
Yeah, that's
Legit.
the bee's knees.
Adam Bell _. Well done, Adam. Very, very impressive stuff.
His Rhino, that could be a triple.
It's a triple.
Charlie, it's a trip.
Thank you, Charlie. Has Rhino got him his box of beers yet?
Ryan Daniels
No,
we're talking about.
no.
Okay.
He's got a
What's
bit going on, Rhino, and I reckon there's not enough credit. What do we bet on? Adam Chera. Adam Chera. He's like, he's staying. I was like, mate, there's nothing more.
He's the man in the he's the man in the know as well. He got showed up a little bit
He
last year,
did.
didn't he? No, see you later. No. DX Ham 1308.
Ask about the time he was in Dampier on Coxey's land and couldn't bag a fish.
Oh, please. I sunk the boat. Nah, this is dead set. We were unbelievable. Coxie's got a hut off. 2014, got on with Coxie because we were both in Fat Club at the start of the year. And
You say in Fat Club?
yeah, so we were both deconditioned. And when Dean Cox, who I idolised Coxie, like from the East Coast, a ruckman who could move like he could, unbelievable. And I obviously knew he'd been paid a reasonable sum too, because he was the best ruckman
Yep.
nearly of all time. He was like, "Oh, boys, do you want to come to the shack for a week?" And I was like, "The shack? Oh, yeah, mate. The shack. This is going to be on the water.
It's not much of a
gonna be-
shack.
It's going to be a mansion on the water. It's just
Yeah.
sick. Like, we're going to a mansion. Get there. It is green tin shed with a generator. a dead
legit
set.
shack.
You're shitting in a hole." Anyway, so that was unbelievable. But it was a fishing trip. I get that part. But the first 3 or 4 days or 3 days, I spent like not trying to catch fish. I was making sure everyone was replenished with beers. If someone
What else are you doing?
someone talking shit, like I don't need to be doing that. I just wanted to have fun. Anyway, come the last day, it was me and Shuey who hadn't caught a fish on this fishing trip, and like almost like you put your hand in and just grab something. Like I just caught this thing. Anyway, I was sitting there and I remember the reel, the rod, like
Who's Rod?
a random one at the back of the boat. Well, Shuey's little fat glutes just went and then rode it in like, honestly, he thought he was Rex Hunt. And I didn't catch a thing. Not a fish.
Not one fish
on a fishing trip.
yeah. Oh,
Same fishing trip.
been invited back?
Nah, Coxie went to Sydney. But unbelievable trip.
And you didn't catch a fish.
We went to the Mermaid that night, that day, and it was one of those massive tides. You know when the tides up there move 40 metres or whatever? We parked the boat. Came back about 4 hours later. We were like 60 metres from water. Like so far from water. It's not funny. Anyway, back into the Mermaid we went. Had a few, it was funny.
That's very good. I can just imagine you walking out of the
Oh, mate,
pub.
where's the boat? I'm like, are we going to carry this thing or?
All right. Bray and Ethan.
Which one? First one? Second one?
First, thanks.
Do you carry a red vest with you wherever you go?
No, I don't. This is unfair. I was the most subbed off player in the history of the game when the rule was sacked. Then a good mate of mine, David Hale, had a run of 4 in a row or 5 in a row for Hawthorn as a ruckman. He'd play and then I'd sub him out.
So is he?
So he beat me as the most subbed off player in the history of the game.
Do you hold any records? I mean, you lost your marks in the grand final. You've lost your red vest. You got any?
No, One of my top 10 most accurate shot at goal. 50.
Actually, what's
Charlie,
that?
I'll bring
Fact.
Go
What's
to
that?
That's fact.
What's that?
I don't know how this is possible. Well, I do because the ninth most accurate shot at goal, minimum 50 shots
In the history of the game.
Is that,
I think
Shot
Plugger's
or shot at goal.
shot in life, 50 minimum.
but you, I
Fucking
think,
hell.
I think you had 36 goals at Hawks, 9 at West Coast.
Yeah.
That leaves you about 45.
So he had shots. He might have had 10 more shots.
So
Yeah.
Ninth most accurate in the history of the game.
Plugger's had 2,000 goes at it, and I've had 51.
That's good.
No, there's some real random people in that stat too. Like real random.
All right,
people.
this will test your memory. Brian Ethan again.
Free kicks for and against were the same in your career. Can you remember the number?
Oh, shit, no.
Charlie?
87.
87. I felt like I was robbed, mate. Occasionally when I was tagging, pain in the ass. So I'd be tagging a good
You're a
player.
tagger.
Well, like Goods or someone like that I'd play on.
I've tagged goods before.
Yeah, but I used to always
Not
yell
fun.
out. He's grabbing me. He's grabbing me. And the umpire would look at and go, he's won 2 Brownlows. And just as a bit of a joke, like, yeah, no, you go to like a Goddard. Goddard was the best player I tagged in terms of not the best, but the best. What he just destroyed me. But you just go up there and, Ray, he's got on my arm. He's got my arm. And Ray would go, you're holding him. Like, I was like, oh, man, I'm getting smashed here. Just give us a chop out.
Is that a thing? Trying to convince...
Oh, no, I was
with-
being a smart ass. I've
Right,
always
okay.
just been a smart ass, trying to just not get
I
fed
got,
on
I got
national
two more.
TV.
I got 2 more from the people, and then who's you? Okay, this is from Jack Murphy _ No, sorry, Jack Murphy 9 _ second one,
Okay.
third one.
Third one. Current favourite AFL player to watch?
Slightly biased. Joel Selwood, always been a big fan. Grew up with him. Love just how hard
Can't
he
play.
is. Favourite player apart from that would be... Oh, shit. Oh, well, Ollie Wines was pretty handy this year.
Good player. In your fantasy team? In your fantasy team?
Brownlow. Really. Pool fence. Pool fence got paid last, thanks to Ollie. No, favourite player. Jeez, it's a tough question. I bloody love Chloe Oliver. Like,
Yeah.
as silly as it sounds.
Ooh, I love it.
I don't know.
Do you have a favourite?
I
Do you have
gotta
a
go.
favourite, Charlie?
Outside favourite that's not a Freo player. I love Harris Andrews.
Yeah.
That's a random favourite.
Good
of
play.
mine.
Random one. Yeah.
Mine's the white whale. Ben Brown.
It is.
Oh,
Ben.
yeah, I love the run up.
Oh God, Ben Brown, my bunny. You mentioned Liam Henry before. I like watching him play. I like the Indigenous lads. I like lads that got a bit of flair. I cannot fucking wait to see Willie Rioli back at it. I actually,
Do you reckon you get a season out of him?
people can. I saw him today,
Yeah.
looking fit. People forget he was our top 3 players in our team
no.
in 2018. 2018.
He's throwing the glasses on the table. Hands.
I'm telling you now,
Covering
he
the
was the
face.
top 3 players. You hate my top best player I've ever played with as well.
That's an outrageous. Breathalyzer, Charlie.
What's the problem with that? Willie Rioli was
Willie Rioli kicked 1 goal in the grand final, landed on his back of his foot by accident.
That's fine, mate. It's not all about that. It's fine. He was our best top 3 best players
in 2018.
the year. Yep.
Better than JK.
Oh, JK.
Yo.
might have been- Nah, yeah, he might have been in there. Yep. There you go. There's the top 3 right there.
Oh,
there you go. Who else is slipping in there?
Shuey?
Nah.
He won you a grand
He
final.
played well in the North.
He won you a grand final.
Played well in the grand final.
Lecker?
Oh, he's a good senior leader. Yeah.
Gov wasn't bad that year.
A Gov?
Yeah, Gov played well. Yeah. But
Schofield.
Willie Rioli, no, I'll tell you that, he wasn't there. This is the last one from the people. And then
Gaff?
I want to give you one. No, don't worry about Gaffy. Willie Rioli. Free. _DJB _79. Last for Social Media, but then Social Media will get taken over by Social.
Yeah, Will Schofield. Where's It's Time for a Beer podcast? Not that it's better than BackChat.
I accept that. I don't.
Any chance?
Nah, it's... I don't know. I need it's basic. I need to commercialise it. I just don't have
We
time
would love you to be a part of the BackChat community. We really
know,
would.
I know. We've spoken about it.
We'd make it so easy for
I gotta-
you. could
Honestly,
you
I
just
tell you
come
what,
in
You
here.
could sit at home, do it,
Actually good.
and we'll make it work.
You can bring Ted on.
No, I don't want kids anywhere near it.
Oh, we'll
That's
just
part
go
of the
into a
issue.
private room. Just little 20-minute, little bit.
No, I don't do 20. I know I need to do it. I need to get it back, and we've spoken about doing it on your platform, which we're still thinking about.
We would love to help you, mate.
I know. It's good fun. I enjoy doing it.
You've been very good. The last question before. So beer with Xavier's not done.
It's time for a beer. Yeah, no, not done. No, certainly not done.
I've forgotten my last question for you. I had a question this entire time and I've completely forgotten it.
You've got a pen.
Can you give me some thinking time?
I'm curious to know about 2015 playing your old team in the grand final.
Yeah.
You could backtrack a little bit while you think about that.
I actually can't think of it.
I'll ask anyway. What are the boys like on the field that you've played with telling you on the ground of that game?
Grant Birchall was the only one who said anything. Like, he said something to me, and I was like, shut up, Birch. He's one of my mates. Anyway, if I was ever going to have an argument with anyone, I'd love to argue with Beeve. I'm never going to lose that argument.
Who's Beeve?
About Birchall. Side note, 280 games for premierships. No one ever said, and that's why I regret not shaking hands, because they were respectful and, no.
Last question on the podcast, then we're done. Is there anything that people don't know that happens in the AFL? Look, we had a bit of a story with Chris Marston and myself that we spoke about wheeze in huddles.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you can think of at the top of your head that people don't know about the AFL? What happens? I mean, jabbing a calf.
Yeah, that doesn't happen too often. I don't know if this is what you're after, but a funny-ish one. When I first moved to West Coast, didn't know many people at all, but before a game, I'd always like to go on the stadium, just walk around by myself, kick the footy, kick a goal. I mean, you're playing at the MCG. I grew up in a town of 200. Like, this is amazing. So I used to always like to do that, and it coincided with chapel at West Coast. Like, the time that the chaplain did chapel.
Mass prep. I don't know how to describe it.
Was the stage I was out on the field, just wandering around. If I saw my dad in the crowd or mum, wave, whatever. And I remember Shuey saying to me after like 6 weeks, he's like, "How do you know you're religious?" I was like, "Huh?" He goes, like religion, you go down and pray with chapel. And I was like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "I've looked for you a couple of times at 90 minutes for a bounce down.
16 of the guys are in the rooms.
And you're not around." And I'm like, "Mate, I go up with earphones on and kick a footy on the grass. I don't go to chapel." So, mate, I thought you were really religious. But from that, the 5-minute the religion chapel ceremony that goes on.
Yeah.
Every club
chapel service.
Paul Morrison.
Every club has, Morrows does it, and in you go, and dibbity-dob or whatever happens, and out you go.
Chapel service.
Yeah, they do good. Chapel 5 at 90 minutes before bounce down. Is that right?
Yeah, it was very relevant. Arch nemesis of Dan Const. Paul Morrison.
What's Morrow, mate? He's never heard anyone.
Bloody Paul Morrison.
Quick story.
No, we were both nominated.
Paul Morrison is the chaplain of West Coast.
Yep. Very good guy. Excellent lad. We were
Your
both
arch nemesis.
We were both nominated in a music category for a West Australian Music Awards.
He sings as well and
Yeah.
strums the
Dan's
guitar.
in the band.
He beat us in that category. And
You know why Luke Shuey did the
Conspiracy.
letter in?
Religion.
Yeah.
conspiracy, I reckon. I reckon it was already predetermined that he was going to win.
Massage result.
They pre-printed stickers that he was going to win. Found out later. Anyways.
Or just they added the votes up and went, well, we may as well prepare for it.
BackChat. Very good. We're done. BackChatPodcast.com.au. BackChat _ on all socials. We're all over the place. We've got a fair bit going on. I know it's been a long podcast.
Real quick, fantasy.
Fantasy.
Two grand final tickets.
If you want to play, join up to Patreon. Jump on the website, backchatpodcast.com.au. 2 grand final
And novice
tickets.
again, what is Patreon?
Patreon is a way to support our podcast. So when we first started
With
up...
cash.
Right, okay.
When we first started up,
Yeah.
I'll tell you, when we first started up, as you know, podcasts, you have nothing.
I said it's time for a beer unless I commercialise it.
So we
costs you.
put out to listeners, if you'd like to support us, if you like what we do, if it's worth one coffee a month, $5 a month, jump on Patreon. It's a way to support the podcast.
Right, okay, got ya.
So if you'd like to do that, you can join in our fantasy competition.
Yeah, and
which
you
is
got
on
2 grand final
socials.
tickets as well. No, it makes sense.
Huge.
And second and third prizes, they'll be there. I was thinking maybe a bit of merch as well, maybe.
Real quick, the breakdown that we were just talking about before, How long does the footy season go for? How many months?
26 weeks.
Yep.
6 months, 5 months.
Yeah, 6.
Yep. So that's 6 or 5 payments of $5.
$25 for your chance to win.
$35 maybe.
$30. You win 2
to
grand final
potentially
tickets.
win a grand
you
final
sell both of them for $1,500. You're $3
Yeah,
grand in the skyrocket.
Like,
Scully taught me that over and
Exactly.
over.
Before we leave, things that happen in the AFL that people don't know about.
No, I'm out of this.
AFL grand final tickets
No,
for sale.
no.
BackChat podcast. Xavier Ellis, very good.
Thanks, guys. Enjoy.
Bye, Dan.
Right.